one went your way. Why place a boom shot, which is a little bit of a desperation play, especially when Optic is so good in those fights? Not sure if I agree with that decision, as Optic was just completely dominant in that boom shot round.
There it is, the trophy that all 10 players on the main stage will want to be hoisting up at the end of this one. Winner of this bags themselves a top 2 finish. They'll be going into, of course, that grand final. Loser will drop down, but again, $100,000 going to that first placed team. $250,000 overall. Unthinkable amounts of money for some of the age of these kids.
Well said. It's going to be a blocked out weapon respawn on the other side of the map. So EU's Finest feels confident with that boom shot fight. Let's catch the action. And this side is we're going to hop on with Phelpsy of EU's Finest. Lancer Fire's going to come in. Mental's going to get tagged up here, but he's finally going to back out and reset. Summons, though, arguably one of the best 1v1 players in the game, if not the best, wins the 1v against Crim on the other side of the map. And now, here comes the big push for boom shot, right now going in favor of Optic Gaming.
Yeah, are they going to be able to pick it up here? Trades go down between Marsh and Solars. And Phelpsy looking to back down, just regain a little bit of health. Full red is actually going to be taken down by Hydro. Not what you want to see. Hydro falls as well. 2 players will hit the deck. Mental takes the boom as well. And this is looking disastrous for EU's Finest as we see Optic Gaming charging forward. Not a point on the board for EU's Finest right now. And it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. The green wall starting to build it up brick by brick here. 3 rounds back to back.
This is what you're used to seeing from this dominant Optic squad. In my opinion, this is the greatest console esports dynasty in the making. These are the 5 best players in Gears of War 4 assembled on one team. It is unthinkable as to what they're going to accomplish in their tenure.
It's just kind of crazy as well because we're at the start of it, but we can see it so early. Some of these dynasties that are created, you know, you don't even see it until 3 victories through, or a championship or a world championship, whatever it may be. But when these 5 come together, you know that these can create that dynasty so early on as well. So be really interested to see how these guys grow. Will they be able to back themselves? New Orleans, we'll have to wait and see. 3 rounds to the good though. And as you see, Optic Gaming handling the slaying side for sure. Frag's been dropped in the cockpit.
Yep, so those nades are going to give a little bit of a tool for that 1v1 fight. Crim versus Summons in the 1v. Interested that Hydrone's not playing that spot. It seems to be a slight change. Of course, this is a bit of an unorthodox impact, which might be why, but Crim versus Summons, I would like to see Hydrone in that fight instead.
We'll see how Crim gets on, so we stay on board with him. The Summons.
Meanwhile,
he's having a little bit of fun. I think Crimson picked up the nades as well. Is he going to toss one out? The answer, no. Oh, yes, he did. I think there explodes, but Mental off screen picks up the double. Crim, actually the last alive. He's rotating back, and rightly so. No one available here for a couple seconds as they do start to come off respawn. Phelps is going to be the first one up, followed by Marsh, but Optic Gaming, again, just showing how strong they are in the slaying side of things.
And Crim's going to try and distract. Solars was picked off there, so he was respawning off the bat. Was not able to get the martyr kill. Mental picking up boom shot kills on the other side of the map, and this Optic squad is just looking so dominant. Look at how Summons plays that 1 versus 1. He's not just flying at you. It's not just raw skill. He outpositions you, he outplays you, and he is just an amazing individual player.
Yeah, it's hard to overcome this. We watched 4 rounds back to back, and all EU's Finest came out hot, which is great to see by no means. But Optic Gaming, they just seem like on a roll now. This is just a snowball getting out of control. And again, sometimes, you know, it's Mental 1 round, it's Summons the next. Solars, that, you know, any single player can go off on this Optic Gaming roster, and that's what I love about it. Such versatile individuals. However, if EU's Finest stand a chance, they need to start pushing back here. These rounds are running way too quick.
Yep. And here we go. The decision to block out that boom, replace it with Insins. Smart call. You wonder what this map would look like if that boom shot was never placed. Again, don't think that was the best decision for EU's Finest, and it definitely did cost them 3 straight rounds for Optic Gaming since that boom was placed.
Okay, well, let's jump on board. We see a 3-2 split on both squads here as EU's Finest is going to look on to take those Insins as well. Maybe the change of pace and taking that boom will, of course, stop the tempo getting a little bit too out of control. EU's Finest trying to be that one to control the tempo, and tell you what, that is what you want to see. You talked about Hydrone over Crim, and he actually comes out on top here, Fallout.
Yeah, big 1v from Hydrone. Really think he matches up very, very well. Crim is better in the middle of the fights here, and that's what's going to actually flip back too. Like the change in strategy here for EU's Finest, of course, with the weapons changing.
Well, 3 down for Optic, as we do see a strong, strong start from EU's Finest, and this is what we saw in round number 1. Not necessarily a quick round, however, we're seeing something. Signs of light as A and B now going in control of EU's Finest. Hydron has been down, but he'll be looking to get back up. Not going to happen though. Explosive headshot onto him.
Looks like nades are going to be picked up by Marsh. He's going to rotate those as soon as possible. Summons going for a break, not going to get it. Smoke grenade flies through, and now Praise actually going to push this. They know they can't just break that hill. They need to apply some pressure. Praise with a little bit of a bait there. Smart decision from him to allow Summons to decap that hill. And now here comes the big fight. Mental pushing a 1v2 like it's nothing, of course, with the support of his teammates, and he's going to pick off both.
Absolutely insane, and honestly, he does it with such confidence. It's like the right thing to do, but any other player may struggle. Optic Gaming, though, pushing forward, putting the pressure on. They are down on points here, but they're starting to gain that control. Hydro down and out. Felpsy is going to be coming off spawn very, very soon here. March putting that covering fire in as well. But the domination potential on. Are we going to see a break? That's the question. B's going to go in favor. C will be broken, and Optic Gaming will have control of 2.
Well played by Optic. A beautiful marks a headshot right there as well, a bit ago from Crazed. And they're going to win that B-Hill fight. 3 dead right now. It's round 6. This should be the round for EU's finest. They have to play their cards right here, but they have a 5-on-2 numbers advantage. You want to see them take that, correction, a 4-on-2 with Felpsy dead. You want to see them take those numbers instead. Crazed actually is going to go down. The Lancer Fire comes through. Praised gets taken out here. So make it a 4-on-1 for the time being, and respawns are coming through.
Yeah, we're seeing a couple of players being picked up, that being Crazed as well. And we do see EU's finest almost making that decision. Do they push? Do they hold back? And they're deciding to retreat for a second. They don't want to overextend. The respawns, of course, being so punishing at this time here in round number 6. Yep. Grim on your screen, rotating. He's taking a little bit of damage there as he rolls across to B, but he will be okay.
That's unfortunate. You want to see him take that 4-on-2, but easier said than done. It's a strong defense from Solars, who is positioned in the pocket up top by Spawn and really fended off that push from EU's finest. 1 down comes in. Here comes the revive chain from Optic. Insin's going to come through as well. He wants that headshot, anticipating a revive. Instead, Mental picks up a 1v against Crazed, despite being under so much pressure. Optic Gaming, wolfpacking so well, but the support from Felpsy is too strong.
I tell you what, Felpsy's putting a lot of damage in there, and those are the ones that really count, the ones that maybe not recovered or put onto that scoreboard. But Crim on your screen, he's surely got to go down. The amount of bullets being put up, but he's got Felpsy right behind him, still weak. 2v1 right now. He does have support as well, but no, not going to happen. Summons puts him to bed. Cavalry comes in, and we do see things traded out. Keep your eyes on the top left, though, as the score keeps on creeping up to that 200 mark, and of course that all-important 210. EU's finest down by 3 right now.
What a heads-up play from Felpsy right there to take out his mark, so full red, and that way he was able to quickly full red his opponent, that was Solars, and allow his teammates to pick up the kill. I know it seems small, it seems subtle, but most players would have kept their shotgun out right there and wouldn't have been able to do much. Heads-up play from Felpsy, that's what really separates him as a top 3 player in Europe.
Here we go. Solars is going to be off that respawn right now, but in the lead is EU's finest, looking to close this one out. They should be able to do this with just the 1, but they're actually got B and C as well in control. Craze picking up kills. That's a big Incen kill there, but he's actually going to take himself out of the game, which isn't going to help anyone.
There it is, another round for EU's finest. And that makes you wonder, shoulda, woulda, couldas definitely do exist in this sport. If they did not place that boom shot, what would have happened in that first half, Momo? Really a costly mistake there for EU's finest.
I mean, that's why maybe they'll learn either the second side of things, whether it's in map 2, but they're working out the kinks, because in Europe, maybe these guys put the boom down and it works beautifully for them. However, they're not. They're in New Orleans against Optic Gaming, and these guys, obviously, especially the experience and the likes of, Felpsy, Craze, the likes, these guys have played on this main stage against these players for so long. They know about this.
Yep.
They tried something, didn't work, blocked it out. Let's hope they can bounce back here. 4-2 right now. Optic Gaming just 3 rounds away from solidifying map 1.
My hope is that they don't make that same decision here. Something tells me they won't. They'll learn from it. Hydro with a good early kill on Summons again. Seems to have his number here just a bit in this one, as he, again, matches up pretty well. You got to give it, it's hard to match up against Summons. Again, the best 1v1 player in Gears. Hydro does a pretty solid job of it.
Here we go, still 10 players all up and alive and kicking. I say that explosive taken down. Headshot coming in from Marsh as well. Seeing Solars just bob and weave between the pillar, looking to rotate round, help his teammates down by E. And of course, that ABC flipped on its head now as we see that middle hill E.
Crazy to get back up over there, actually. So despite the kills going in favor of EU's finest, it is Optic with a huge score lead. They just haven't been able to cap hills, and Hydro's not going to get the kill here. Mental is going to take out one. Actually, it's a team kill, and Solars takes out one, gets the revive on Praised, who taps himself up, actually, and Optic Gaming somehow turns chicken poop into chicken soup right there.
I tell you what,
sorry, I had to drop it.
You did. I'll take one over the other for sure. Solars is going to down one. Explosive finishes that one off, and here we go. Optic Gaming starting to rally, starting to pick up the pace. We are starting to see them control this game right now, or control this round, should I say here. As Praise is looking to roll one out, help his teammate, but D still in control of EU's finest. And Hopefully brought up is that overhead. We can see all 5 players of EU's finest at that top side, almost deciding where to go, how to break here. But Optic Game is such a hard team to break through.
Yeah, well played by Praise right there. Again, this round, the initial was won by EU's finest. Praise should not have been allowed that long. The reason he died instantly right there is because it was his 3rd down. On your 3rd down, you die instead of going DBNO or down but not out. That's how long he's been alive in this round. Very well played by Praise. And now Optic in control with the 2 cap. Here's their defense strategy. It's going to be a heavy E-hill break push that's coming through from EU's finest. Optic just trying to set up for this E-hill. The break has already come in. It's going to help, but it hasn't stopped the bleeding entirely as that lead is just so significant. And this revive change is going to be way too strong again.
Yeah, that's the problem here. They're able to pick each other up, literally and physically here, as we are going to see Marsh take down Summons. That's 1 player put on a timer, but of course, Respawn is down, back down to 10, and as well, Explosive trying to find one, is going to run into trouble. That be Marsh. We are going to see 2 hills go in favor of EU's finest, but they need more. They need to either neutralize that F hill or go for that triple cap. We flick over to the other side of things, and D's going in control of Optic Game, and the rotation is spot on, and they should be able to close this one out.
And the respawns are going to come in, so Craze plays that well, knowing that Hydron is on the flank here, and he's going to get shut down by Mental. Mental has had Craze's number for this entire map so far. 5-2 is the score. Optic looking strong, but I'm seeing some good things from EU's finest. Just inability to kind of capitalize on their momentum has really been the issue.
So the question is, obviously, for Optic Gaming right now, they're sitting pretty, they're 5-2 up. It's looking good to take map number 1. Where is the challenge from EU's finest? Do they have to maybe target an individual? Do they have to change the strategy in regards to the weapon drops? Or is this just kind of running into just a better team and it's just a fact? Like, it is just 5 players who are outskilling you right now.
Yep, honestly, it's not necessarily what EU's finest is doing horribly wrong. It's what Optic does so well. I think it's the latter point that you made there. Optic is just such a strong team. I did mention the ability to capitalize on their initials, take their numbers a little bit better. There's a little bit of a lack of fluidity there that maybe they could benefit from. Hopefully the coach is keeping a close eye and able to help them in that regard, but you want to see them capitalize off of those initiatives because they're doing a good job winning some of them. But look at the kills category. You're just getting outslayed at this point.
I think that's it, and that's my question. Obviously, you know, sometimes a team can be doing everything they can and just being outplayed, but 18 kills from Mental, very, very it's very, very hard to stop a player like that when he's got on a roll. Of course, Mental, one of the best in the game for sure. I mean, Optic Gaming's lineup, look at it. Undisputably. There's talent for sure, but EU's finest. They bring a lot of talent to the table too.
Completely agreed. That E-hill is going to be capped by Optic. Again, playing the objective so well as Optic, while also capitalizing in the kills category.
Slaying definitely favoring Optic, and I tell you what, Hydron's ran right into trouble here. You're going to be able to see a pick up there coming in from Explosive. We're going to help out his teammate as Hydron does fall. Respawn still low. Insend isn't going to connect.
So no kills have been picked up for quite some time here. That E-hill was broken. It's only a slight lead for Optic. Summons going to push out, sorry, Solar's going to push up, try to get something going. Here comes the Optic push. Look how well coordinated they are. Almost like a general in an army is Praise right there, or sorry, that was Mental leading the way, but not going to come out in his favor. Praise goes down as well. So for the first time, Optic making not the perfect mid-round push. It's very often, very rare that you'll see errors come through from Optic, but they of course, were trying to do something.
Do something, trying to finish this game off. Another couple of rounds and they'll find themselves a map in the back here. Felpsy looking to bait and switch with a player, trying to regain some of that health as well. The Lancefire coming in, he's going to escape with his life for now. Going to slap another magazine in that Lancer here, reload, regain, and just trying to take a back foot here because Optic Gaming, they're going to come right back at them, trying to take control over the E-hill, and we're going to see Mental already picking 1 player up. That's going to be Crim.
And that is the same exact push through the mid that they were hoping for. This time, they have the numbers advantage, and it works out in their favor. So Optic doing a great job calling that mid-round transition, and really almost like a flying V right there, able to pick off 2, and Optic in a good spot to win this round.
Here we go. Hydron on your screen. He's going to take down 1. Oh, doesn't finish him. He's going to have to go back for more. Picks him up, and he's going to find himself in a world of trouble. Does he have the teammates to back him up? He's got the movement for sure, and look at that for a shot. Beautifully done. Mental's going to go down. Picked up by Hydron as well. And now we're going to see EU's finest survive for a little longer. The game is so closely tied here, but Solar's letting it burn, letting it rip here. Hydro to Crim, they're going to fall.
Hydro just played that so incredibly well. Meanwhile, Craze said, it's my turn. Takes out 2 on his own, and they are just causing havoc in the spawn of Optic Gaming. Craze now versus Solar. Solar's going to come out on top, finally shutting him down. But Hydro and Crazed may have single-handedly just won them that round by opening up an opportunity at E-Hill for EU's finest to secure the 2-cap. Huge plays from Hydro and Crazed. Wow, that was beautiful.
And the crazy thing is, I want to go back to the point of the boom shot. The boom's been taken off now, and we are starting to see EU's finest like go toe-to-toe. Maybe get one up for, 50 seconds, then go down for 30. These guys are going back and forth, but I do think that boom shot was a vital error, and Optic Gaming started to run away with this. Solar's on your screen, though, trying to make something happen. He's going to neutralize that F-hill, which, of course, will mean Optic Gaming could actually take the lead here with the 2 hills.
Optic does win off of 2, and they realize that. So smart from Mental to back out and reset, value his life. Doing quick math there to recognize all we need is 2 hills to win this one. Mental, if he can pull off a kill here, that would be huge. He's going to get taken out. 207 is the magic number, and they're not going to get there. Optic Gaming going to steal a round. Clean sweep right off their feet right there from EU's finest. What great plays after Hydro and Craze do everything that they can to try and make it happen. Unfortunately for them, they're not able to finish.
And again, you just see so calm on the main stage, that being praised there, just taking each round in his stride.
And shout out to the ladies of Optic out there in the crowd supporting their team. There you see the man himself. Oh, captain, my captain. Gilbert, a.k.a. Explosive. Arguably the best in-game leader in Gears history at this point. Such a fun player to watch, and so much respect for him.
Just want to point out, Explosive, 98 seconds dead. You look across the board and everyone else, we're talking 130s minimum, 140s for most, 150s as well. What does that say about Explosive, and what does that boom shot also say?
Get ready for havoc at the boom shot spawn. Over at tables this time, so it's going to be even crazier of a fight. Explosive, of course, such an impact player for his team. Oh my gosh, Marsh barely misses an opportunity to take out Summons there. Going to go for the wraparound shot, takes him out. Huge opportunity against Explosive. Easier said than done as Explosive wins that fight. And now, Hydro was able to slip away with that boom shot, is bringing it, rotating it all the way through spawn here, trying to get to a better spot.
Here we go, boom. It's going to be let rip, and Hydro's going to be the one to take down Explosive for that one. This time, they do get control of that boom shot. It is starting to pay off for them. However, very early stages of round number 9 here, Optic Gaming could make this the last round here of map number 1.
And so far, Optic has yet to lose more than 2 rounds in a map in the championship bracket.
Wow.
Not saying it's not over yet, of course. Good opportunity right now for EU's Finance to change that, but they are playing so incredibly well. Nice boom shot from Hydro to shut things down.
Put that cover in fire. It's like the support role, but also bigging up the kills as well. Hydro, a very impactful player here for EU's finest, as we are seeing Crim full red, and Optic Gaming are actually controlling 2 of the hills, but I'm surprised if EU's finest starts to take a little bit more map control, of course. With that boom shot, they managed to pick up a couple of kills, and here we go.
And keep in mind, we credited the boom shot on Solars, but he was able to grab the hill, which got them almost the lead here. Huge play from Solars earlier on to grab that hill and buy them some valuable time, but now it comes down to these kills. Keep in mind, boom shot will be responding in about a minute, so all eyes on that boom shot as teams are going to be rotating on that side. Of course, Ash is coach of Optic, calling that out, and that's why you see players rotating towards that side.
They rotate round, play for those power weapons here. Optic Gaming back in control here, but they are down by around 10 points. As we do see EU's finest hit 80 now and climbing, but Phelpsy on your screen, he does have Marsh, and he'll be looking to pick him back up. He's got Crazed as well, and there we go. Doesn't want to judge anything before he takes that kill here, and his teammates will be picked back up, and here we go. EU's finest will be going right back at it, all tied up pretty much at 100 points each.
Solars at top table. Nice play. Can he get the double here? Good support comes in from Phelpsy. Not going to be enough, though, because the revive chain's going to come through, but Crazed takes out 1. He takes out 2. Crazed is starting to heat up here in this second half. Was a little bit quiet in the first, but this is the Crazed we're used to seeing. King Crazed himself with a great performance here in half number 2.
And Phelpsy's now got the boom as well, and even though Crazed might be able to finish it right here, right now, all the players coming off, will they be able to challenge it? It looks like they'll just break it for a second. Not going to be enough, as we do see EU's finest taking it away. And again, the boom shot was a very vital part of that. That is why they put it down the first time. It didn't work out for them. On the flip side of things, when we changed the halves A, B, and C to D, E, and F, it seems to be working out a little bit better. However, they're on the brink of losing this map. One more round, of course, to Optic Gaming. We'll be starting up map number 2 shortly.
Yep, you see Craze in the far left of your screen right there. He is the X factor for this squad. We're used to seeing him drop 30, 40 bombs. Such a good individual player, and what a career he has had in Gears esports ever since he burst onto the scene in Gears War 3, teaming with Reaction back then. Now Crazed has cemented himself as arguably the best player in European history. 14 kills right now for him as he is really heating up.
Certainly is, and as we get into the meat of this map here, 6-3 EU's finest. They need to start a real comeback here to take it against Optic Gaming. A lot of fans back home will want to see this one end. However, Hydro in the middle. Summons. Those initials are very important. Mental is going to answer back, but it's that boom again. He's got it, and he's got away with his life.
Yep, needs to be careful though. Marsh in a tough spot here. Sorry, that's Crazed, who needs to support a beautiful boom on Mental. Hydro has been performing. He can save his teammate's life, and he's going to miss that boom, unfortunately. I thought with the active, he'd be able to get the kill. I don't know if he had active on it, and now he's in a 1v1 against Solars. A tough fight for sure, as his duo Phelpsy over here, as Explosive's going to turn on him.
Wow, that's disgusting to see it from Phelpsy's point of view, but Phelpsy's going to finish the kill, and we are going to see no hills actually captured for the first couple of seconds here. A lot of kills being made though. A lot of map control has been gained, and on your screen is Phelpsy looking just to go away and attack this, but that's not going to work out either for the plays down by E.
Yeah, Krim a little bit ill-advised right there, getting a little baited by the down from Craze, and Crazed with the Kobe Ensign is going to connect. Craze just saw his life flash between his eyes as that Ensign hit him straight between the eyes. Nicely placed from him, on board with Marsh now. Key 1v1, he's going to get tagged up here, full red. Can he come up with a big kill? No, Solars will come out on top in that one.
Solars, a brilliant player in himself as well. Hydron is in trouble, and now we see Optic Gaming. They start to control the map, the two hills that they have right now. Two go down. It's Hydron and Marsh on those timers. Phelpsy's down as well. Is this where Optic Gaming run through, run over, and destroy? That is the question. Summons is going to find himself one, but a 2v1 right in the hill as well. There's so much smoke, no one knows what's going on at this point, but Craze denied. Mental comes up trumps, and that is going to be another round for Optic Gaming, and that is all they need to close out map number 1. Fist bumps all round for the green wall.
Captain himself, and you really felt it there, Momo. Anytime Optic gave even an ounce of an opportunity for EU's finest to grasp some air, they completely swallowed it and took it away from them. Can't even breathe right there as EU's finest. Small opportunity that they couldn't capitalize on, unfortunate for them.
At this point, you just have to ask yourself, is Optic Gaming really just that dominant now? They've done it all throughout this tournament, and now to one of our favorites, EU's finest.
Now listen, I was kind of questioning that boom shot placement. Typically, I'm an avid believer in, listen, play your strengths, but when you're playing against a team like Optic Gaming, and you know that they have strong initials, especially on impact, I maybe would have played it out maybe another round or so before dropping such a heavy power weapon. I'm with their confidence that they would win the fight, but maybe a little bit more strategic, kind of see what playstyle Optic was kind of throwing at them, play it a little bit slower and more patient.
But when you look at EU's finest, that's been really their strong point. EU's finest, they've gotten this far with their boom shot strategies and just having that organized fight right there, which is what they excel at. Fallout, do you agree with Cleaner or disagree?
Completely agree with Cleaner in this part. I understand play to your strengths, don't play to the other team's weaknesses, but at the same time, what's worked, it was working well for them, the regular fight. It was only 1-1. They barely lost that second round. Give it a few more opportunities. And not only that, when they placed that boom shot, why have Krim fight the 1 versus 1 on the other side of the map? I understand you have strats, you build things out, but I don't agree with that decision to have Krim play against Summons. I think you got to stick Hydro in there, even if you haven't practiced that online.
Yeah, and just be cognizant of who you're actually playing against, and you're going to have to change some tactics, change some strategies.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And guys, stay tight. We'll go over to map 2 after we learn a little bit more about Optic Gaming. Two players that got a lot of shine this event was Solars and Praise being the newest members of Optic Gaming, but they keep on winning. What does that say about their core?
Well, real quick, I want to touch base before that on something that Explosive just said. There are so many teams, and the skill gap is just closing. There's so many teams that it's potential upsets everywhere. And that's something that we didn't really see in Season 1. We see these teams really working together and kind of closing the gap. Now, notice he didn't say, he didn't include Optic in that, you know, dethroning them, but his confidence and just the fact that he's recognizing that this scene is just continuing to grow, I enjoyed it.
Yes, and, you know, Optic Gaming, they're just proving their dominance. EU's Finest, the last team to stop them before they reach that grand finals. Is it possible?
I think it most definitely is. EU's Finest, they've shown those moments of brilliance. It's just been so consistent with that. It's very difficult against a team like Optic Gaming. It's great to see these guys come out hot. They win round 1. The rounds that they did win, they look great in. But the rounds that they're getting beat at, sometimes it's like a minute and 20 seconds. It's very quick, it's very fast, and that's what Optic Gaming does. They see a hole in the defense, and they literally run straight through it. They put it down and destroy you. Optic Gaming, they're looking very hot here.
Yes, can slow it down just a little bit. Finest catch up and tie things up with Optic Gaming here on Force Blitz. Fallout and Momo, take it away.
Okay, well, let's kick things off here once again with Optic Gaming, EU's Finest. Winner bracket final here, MLG New Orleans. Brought to you, like you said, by myself, Momo, and the wonderful Fallout guiding us through all the action. Shout out to the observers backstage, though, gliding you through all this beautiful spectacle in front of you. Hydron's going to kick it off with that initial first down summons.
Keep in mind here, this was EU's Finest pick. Forge Blitz, they like how they fare in this one, and meanwhile you see at the bottom of your screen 5-5, neck and neck are Echo Fox and Ghost Gaming. What a losers bracket this has been. Wow. EU United versus Ghost Gaming close, Echo Fox versus Ghost Gaming looking even closer. Yeah,
and you've got to think as well, loser of this will drop down into that loser bracket final. They're probably going to play one of these teams. It's going to be very difficult to say the least. However, jumping back on board with Optic Gaming and the boys from Europe here, who is going to be able to pick up round number 1, rolling straight into trouble though. Marsh and Crazy are going to capitalize on the mistakes there. Mental and Explosive are going to fall down. Right now, Optic Gaming leading in the hill department, however, trailing just by 5 points.
And no one's actually going to pick up that kill on someone's final. There you go. Hydron's going to pick it up. Incinerator is going to be pressed. That's going to be about 10 plus seconds where you can't step inside that area. B-Hill being broken. Praise getting pushed, but look at the support from Optic. Going to shut that down, and oh, a misplay again. As soon as EU's Finest gets some opportunity, Optic just completely shuts it down.
Still Explosive picking up kills. That's 3 down here, and we're going to see some had some bad praise, and Soul's actually going to fall, but Mental shuts down Crim, and just like that here, we are going to see the domination come in, and quite surprising as well, kind of how that went down. A lot of slaying going forward, back and forth, of course, at the start here, but a triple cap comes in, and there you have it. Round 1 is over.
And in the blink of an eye at that, there was a 5-on-2 in favor of EU's Finest, and Optic is able to counter that quickly to win the round. That is just so frustrating to play against. You don't even know how to fix that. And now they have a decision to make with a weapon placement. Again, we're a bit critical of that boom shot placement last game. Looks like they're feeling good about it in this one. Of course, this is a little bit different, though. They lost that round quite decisively, and I think it's a little bit more acceptable in this situation than game number 1, where we really saw some even rounds.
Well, there you have it. 10 kills on the side of Optic Gaming. Just 6 on the side of EU's Finest. The Slain side of things is going to be interesting for sure. I'm so excited to see what happens with Boom. I'm expecting a lot of smoke. Who's going to get those initials? Let's find out right now as we jump on board with Marsh. He's looking to hit pretty much the hot flank, and there you have it. 1 shot to Mental, and he finds it. Now he can start the pinch as well. An Explosive, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Solar's 2, and that is going to be 3 down. EU's Finest, they're going to grab that Boom. They're going to grab the kills, and it works perfectly. A lovely strategy.
Agreed, and that's why you love that decision. They're confident with it, and I like that decision this time around. Of course, a different scenario here in map 2. It's going to pay off well for them. Crim taking out Praise, and now opportunity. C-Hill, they need to rotate that boom shot there and pick up some kills. Mental, though, is going to get taken out. Nice job. That's exactly who you want to take out with that boom shot and that easy kill. But you can't let Explosive do that. He's going to take out 2, actually, with the team kills coming through from Crazed.
Oh, on your screen is Crazed here as he is starting to rally. He's got another kill to his name, starting to push forward, trying to get that triple cap, looking likely to do so. Praise is going to get in, but it's going to be nice straight away. It's 1 by 1. You're running into your death trap, and Mental on his knees. No head, no prayer for that round.
There it is. A couple knocks come through for EU's Finest. And I love that round. Breaking it down. They place the boom shot, which they love to do. They love their strategy for that exact scenario. They run a very, very good mid-map push, grab that boom, and you're able to use that boom to take out Mental and win the round. Well done, but now Optic has a chance to counter. They're going to play some marks I'm seeing on screen right now, so expect the marks that would be lethal in the hands of the likes of anyone on Optic Gaming.
So round 2 does go in favor of EU's Finest, much like map 1. You know, things tied here. Again, the boom shot is going to be where you see a lot of the play goes down. You're going to see one go top to the control room either side. This is going to be a bit more spread out here. Last time it was a bit of a bloodbath here, and a smoke fest in the middle. See if we're able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, Craze decided to play that passive, going for L triggers instead of trying to get in there and save his teammate. Dodging some good shots right now. Solar's going to go down here. Couple good shots put in. One more goes down. Full red right now is that member of Optic Gaming mid-map, Solars. He's going to get taken out. You cannot die here if you're Crazed. And as I say that, Praised takes him out. Boy, does that get complicated, saying those two 5 times fast.
Praised and Crazed going at it 1-to-1. And you do see this time Praised come out on top, that being for Optic Gaming. You are seeing both home hills in obviously possession, but it's all about who is able to get this mid-map control, who's able to take B. Still have to wait and see for that one, but right now Marsh in these pillars, weaving back and forward.
I don't know who grabbed that boom shot. I'm trying to go for some pistol play here is Marsh. They're going to down one. That's explosive. He doesn't realize it, though. So now takes on his Lancer. Gets some good shots on Solars. Great angle from Marsh. He's going to get pushed, though. He is tagged up full red. Trying to get his health back and misses the one shot. Connects for the second. Here comes Summons, though, flying into the fight. Explosive is somehow still alive. Despite however much work Marsh was doing, a team kill comes through. That's going to be costly, but Phelpsy tries to make up for it. Marsh with a beautiful back A. And EU's Finest is hanging on here in this fight against Optic.
Explosive is going to go down, and it'll be finished off as well.
Boom shot's
EU's
still up.
Finest looking so strong here, and hello Phelpsy picking up the boom.
5 kills and 6 down. Phelpsy playing a little bit of a support role in this one. And man, that was the longest fight for a boom shot that I think I've ever seen. Finally, it's going to be Phelpsy that picks it up. And rather than rotating an A side and trying to pick up some kills using their numbers, he's going to actually sit over there. They're confident with the 2-cap setup. Look at Optic, though. They're going for an away hill push right now. That's their strategy, playing for C hill. And it doesn't look like many members of EU's Finest are there to help counter.
To wait and see how that one pans out to game and trying to change things up, and you know, rightfully so. Yes, this team is a star of all stars, but they are weak at some point, and that is when they match up against some of these players which can go toe-to-toe with them in the skill department. 150 plays 125 right now. EU's Finest in the lead.
And with a boom shot and a 5-on-4, I'm not sure why they're letting Optic completely have their way with the C-Hill push without even trying to counter. I also don't agree. I'm not sure why Phelpsy is sitting over here as the anchor. He should be in the fight with that boom shot. Instead, he's anchoring down this B-Hill with a massive rocket launcher in his hands.
Interesting strategy. Still with the boom shot, and actually Summons could get the better of him right now. Oh my goodness, not what you want to see. He's got to go down. Boom, wasted. And you are going to see Solar Summons take down Crazed and Phelpsy. And this is going to be falling apart here. B's going back in possession of Optic Gaming. The time is ticking. 184 for EU's Finest, but they don't have a hill to their name, and Optic Gaming could come in here and sweep this away.
And there's the hill cap. That's going to be a lead in favor of Optic. And a round that really should have gone the way of EU's Finest. 2 caps to 1, and you have 2 boom shots, is going to be stolen again from Optic unless Phelpsy can get this break and get it quickly. A-Hill needs to be decapped as well. It's not going to be, and that will be an Optic Gaming round. Wow, what a steal from Optic.
Optic Gaming, they might be picking up the rounds, but this is close for sure. This is absolutely nail-biting here on the main stage. Winner bracket final. MLG New Orleans here, and these guys already solidified a top 3 placing. Of course, we know the prize that's on the line. 100K goes to first. And as it goes down, just dropping bit by bit, these guys will want to take that championship home, especially for the likes of your EU's Finest. You know, this is the first for some of these guys.
Yep, just got some interesting stats, most likely from a man Prodigy out there in the stream. A huge shout out to him. Optic Gaming with a 100% win rate on this map, this event, as expected. EU's Finest chose this map, only a 25% win rate on this map at this event. 4 times they've played it. Meanwhile, Optic's played it twice. So interesting decisions here. And really what it comes down to is EU's Finest is just, I think strategy and these teamwork-based decisions are much different. Meanwhile, Echo Fox actually going to win that 7-6 in map number 1. What a breakdown of Gears action we have today.
Yeah, and you can watch the rest of that one on our Bravo stream, of course. However, here on Alpha, we're going up against Europe's finest, against North America's finest, which I don't think there's much argument about that. Marks of play coming in for Phelpsy as well. He's going to run away back down here. And already we're getting into some very interesting strategy going down. Round number 4, this is where those respawns are starting to creep up as well, Fallout.
Yep. Boom shot in the hands of Hydrone. He takes out one. Gonna get the second as well. Hydrone has been on fire with that boom shot ever since Forge Blitz. Not gonna catch that B-Hill just yet. Lancer out. Look at the team fire. The lasers are gonna down Mental. And again, AU's finest is playing incredibly well. They are just small decisions and teamwork-based things like, again, Phelpsy staying at B-Hill with that boom shot that have cost them a few rounds, both on this map and on Impact. I really think they're going toe-to-toe in a lot of ways, just missed opportunities.
Missed opportunities might be one that they'll kick themselves over, though. The end of today. By the end of Sunday, we will crown a champion. The favorites right here, Optic Gaming for sure. But can someone cause upset down in the loser bracket? You've got teams like Ghost, Echo, Fox waiting to pounce. And I'll tell you what, you lose a winner bracket game, you drop down after a tough loss. It is not an easy game going against a team that has maybe won 2, 3, 4 back-to-back.
Yep. And look at Praisen team pushing B-Hill with no contest, just able to break that B-Hill, capture that B-Hill with ease, and now doing the same thing over towards the Incinerator side as Phelpsy gets tagged up. Does a good job staying alive here. Big shotgun fight. Someone's going to go down. Marsh takes out Explosive. That's 3 down right now. As the meat shield's finally going to be picked up. 3 down for Optic. 3 on 2. Numbers advantage here in favor of EU's finest. So again, this is where you want to see them capitalize. Phelpsy's going to try and overextend. Smart plays from him. He needs some support now. He needs it quickly. As the cross is finally going to come through. Well played right there from Phelpsy. Beautiful play. Yeah,
he's going to shut down Mental as well, and this is what you like to see from EU's finest. Testing Optic Gaming, pushing them back, and I like how Phelpsy's backed off here, maybe looking towards maybe B to capture that one, take that 2-hill advantage. They're already 25, 30 points in the lead. Good stuff from EU's finest. It seems to be paying off for them right now. However, will they be able to hang tight? We know Optic Gaming, they can break with a flick of a finger. What are they going for? Maybe a push onto A.
And again, EU's finest decides not to stay at that C-Hill there, so you're going to give Optic Gaming a chance to fight back in this one by not staying aggressive for that C-Hill. It was a 2-on-2 fight, and Optic was pushing the your defense. I would like to see them stay a little bit longer, but of course, they do have a pretty significant lead, so I think it could be the right decision if they can clutch up these kills.
That's it. It's all about clutching up, and can we see Phelpsy do that? Wow, 2 kills, 3 kills. Crim, Phelpsy combining here, and you know what? The kills are great. But all in all, that time is ticking. A might be going down, but B is certainly safe in the hands of Crazed and Marsh here. They are going to be able to clean this one up, and EU's finest looking to tie it up here in round number 4 versus Optic Gaming. We have a game on our hands here.
Indeed we do. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of EU's finest. Again, they're in this every step of the way. Great round from them. And ultimately, I did like that decision to back out of C, given the timing and the lead that they have. They back out, they reset, they know they went off of 1 hill, and they're going to secure that B hill thanks to some good kills from Phelpsy. Nice 1v2.
Make sure that we're playing together.
Round number 5 just around the corner, and this is where Optic Gaming, again, I think you said, hadn't lost 2 rounds in a winner bracket game. This most definitely feels like their hardest test. Yep. We saw them play against Ghost. They ran through them. They mocked them almost. Right now, they're being pushed.
You know, Nimbus Esports in pool play did take Optic to, I believe, 5 or 6 rounds they grabbed on them, which was very surprising. Of course, that is pool play, and Optic is known to let go of that gas pedal a little bit, but a big shot to Nimbus Esports. Toddy, Demizen, Force, and Co., who came out here and performed. Most of them 16 years old, competing in their first event, and it is exciting. They are the future of Gears Esports. As we're going to have a little bit of a pause here. What a game it's been so far.
So far, so good here. EU's finest, of course, needing to win this map. Otherwise, they'll be going down to that loser bracket amongst the likes of Ghost Gaming, Echo Fox. That's what they're playing for, the beautiful trophy of Gears Pro Circuit.
No matter which team I am, Optic Gaming or Echo Fox, I wouldn't want to go against anybody in that losers bracket right now, because as you guys see, Echo Fox is on absolute fire. And just an update for the people that aren't aware, we do have a Bravo stream where Reshies did have over 40 kills and they lost 6-7.
That's tough.
That'd be rough, you know, but Echo Fox and Ghost, you're going to expect it to go to the very end. You know, maybe map game 3, round 13.
It's going to go to tiebreaker.
Yeah, we saw it against United. United wins map 1 7-6 and loses second map and third map. So maybe history will repeat itself here, as it's been an interesting one.
At this point in time, you can't count any team out, to be quite honest. Even though Optic Gaming had, you know, a really dominant win, EU's Finest still might be able to fight back because these teams, they're up here for a reason.
Yeah, and Cleaner, talk to me, man. This is an analyst's dream, this game, because I feel like there's been so many missed opportunities for EU's Finest as we've seen them obviously keeping up with 2-2 tie right now. But you saw that round with Phelpsy staying at that B hill. What would you have liked to see him do instead?
Now, the thing is, you're going to be baited. Optic Gaming, there's such an aggressive presence. Be patient. Just wait for your opening. That's it. Right now, we're seeing a little bit of some premature pushes. You have the slaying power on EU's Finest. Just kind of take a moment, wait for your team, and play your strengths. If you don't have to take a fight, don't take it. You should never be taking a fight alone.
All right, guys, the game is underway. Momo and Fallout, take it away.
Excited to be jumping back into this one. On board with Hydrone now. Keep in mind here, that 1v1 fight up top, Praised versus Hydrone. Hydrone, a slippery player in 1vs. It's going to be Crim, though, that is going to take out Summons on the other side of the map. So 5-on-4, keep in mind 18-second respawn timers. That's why you see Hydrone retreating from this fight a little bit. But Praised knows he needs to neutralize, he needs this kill.
I've been really impressed as well by EU's Finest. Their initials, those first bloods, they seem to be getting one over on Optic Gaming. Not a lot of teams can do that. So if they can keep that up, that might be the catalyst to a victory. Crim and Marsh picking up the power weapons.
Yep, Praised going to get taken out as well here. So that's 3 dead in this scenario, and you have Boom Shot. You need to pressure this A hill. It's a 5-on-2 with Boom in your hands for the time being. Respawn's obviously going to come in, but instead, in 18-second respawn timers, they're gonna play it safe and hold the 2 cap. And this time they do have Boom Shot over on this side of the map, but these long of respawn timers, you cannot give Optic an opportunity to fight their way back into this one, because if you give them an inch, they will take a mile.
There you have it, Optic Gaming pushing forward. Phelpsy does have that mark, so we know how much damage it can do. And like you said, we can see him taking it off, but explosive. Denies there with the headshot. Hydrone shuts him down. My goodness, a lot of smoke coming down, a lot of kills will be following. Marsh, though, utilizing that boom shot.
Don't waste it, don't waste it. Get the kill. There we go. I totally thought he was going to shoot that boom. He's going to pocket it instead. Smart decision here. And a good rotation for EU's Finest. But again, many dead. And a nice instant kill on Summons. This is what you want to see. Close this round out. And they should be able to, actually. Because I don't know if anyone from Optic's even in distance. That's going to be a 3-cap domination coming in for EU's Finest. They are heating up 2 straight rounds.
That is a quick 1-2. Optic Gaming under pressure here, being tested by the best of Europe without a doubt.
So Optic Gaming showing a little bit of weakness here. Of course, to them, no sweat. They know the slaying power that they have on this team. They're just trying to get to that second half, of course, where hopefully there won't be a boom shot place, which has really favored EU's Finest. And speaking of that boom shot, I think they actually replaced it. We'll take a look at the overhead map in just a moment and show you guys that action, as almost all 5 members of EU's Finest in double digits here in the slaying category. And yep, nades instead of boom.
Well, the power is still there for sure. Of course, boom being a big difference in a game like this. However, frags, of course, very, very crucial. Phelpsy and Explosive with that marker in hand.
Interesting decision here. They decide not to fight the 2v2 up top. They're going to rotate low side. I love the strat call that comes in from EU's Finest. And I love that we caught that. Big shout out to Waldo observing in the back here, as they're going to send 3 middle instead. Crazy's going to go mid, takes out 2. Praise now left in a 1v1. They have a 5-on-3 for another 15 seconds here with Insins and grenades in their hands. This should be an EU's Finest round, but you want to see them close it out, push that C hill and play aggressive. Praise is completely isolated as well.
Yeah, Mental's in a lot of trouble. He's going to fall down, and this could be back-to-back-to-back rounds as we see it burning alive. His Summons, as we do see Crim take over the C hill. I don't think anyone's in there. B challenge, not going to happen. Another round for EU's Finest, and they are well on their way to securing this one. It's looking very, very good.
And I have to applaud them for that strat call. Crazed fakes high side, baits the 2v2 up top, because that's what Optic was trying to do by dismantling that boom shot in the middle, replacing it with nades. They wanted the 2v2 fight up top. They feel comfortable with it. Of course, Explosive is amazing at that fight in that area. Instead of going high side, he rotates mid, takes the 3v2 with numbers middle with a trick strat. Beautiful trick strat to close out that half. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of EU's Finest.
So far, so good. However, we're going to flip it on its head. We're going to restart this one. No respawn, no weapons here. I say no respawn. We're down to 10 seconds. The basic respawn, as we do see EU's Finest lead by 2.
I apologize. It's actually Praise and Solars in that fight up top. Interestingly enough, as we know, Icy used to take that fight for Optic, so that makes sense here. Oh, Marsh takes out Praise. Can he save his life? 1v1 meat shield fight ensues. Solars with one of the most deadly pistols ever since Gears 3. And he's just going to let his teammates do the work down low. Hydrone takes out Mental. And man, what a performance from Hydrone. He has elevated his gameplay these last 3 events.
Oh, for sure. This has been going back and forth. However, I'm loving what I'm seeing for EU's Finest. Someone's actually going to go down as well. And He's looking so strong, and being consistent is obviously the key. And right now at EU's Finest, they're showing signs of that they can go toe-to-toe. It doesn't feel like they're playing scared.
And look at the stalemate, high side on Control Tower. Solars and Marsh have been just stalemating for at least 30 seconds here, just letting the rest of the map play itself out. They know something we don't know. I think Optic Gaming is going to try something here. What's the mid-round push going to be? Explosive is putting something together.
Here
Let's see this overhead map and see how Optic is deciding to play this here. It looks like it is a wide push. You can see that through that nice orbit cam. It is a wide push towards that E-hill. Marsh and Solar still in that stalemate up top.
Yeah, still going. It's a 4v4 right now. These guys have...
This is an interesting round.
Their controller's down. They're going for a bathroom break, it seems.
Yeah, 2 1v1s, and the 3v3 is in a mid-round. This is usually an initial. We're going to see a team kill from Explosive. Summons is downed, and he's going to miss the kill on Explosive. Explosive gets away with murder right there. But the good thing, Crazed is going to clutch up. And Crazed versus Explosive. EU GOAT versus the North American GOAT, and Explosive's just dancing around that E-hill trying to break it.
Yeah, trying his very best. He's going to break it for now, but again, those points have been ticking all this time that feels like it's almost been wasted, and guess what? It's Crazed who comes out on top, and he's going to jump right back in, try and get that over to E. Marsh up top wins that one as well, and EU's Finest are putting Optic to their test.
Summons full red. Crazed is not missing shots right now. Talking about heating up, 20 kills and 8 downs for King Crazed himself. Coming from Scotland, and what a performance he has had.
So far, so good. They just need to close it out. They've got all the map control. Look at that overhead. Optic Gaming, they're pinned back, almost with no hope here. 175 has been crossed, and EU's Finest just need to hold on for a couple more seconds. However, Explosive and Solar's picking up kills.
That's what Explosive does best. He strings together these mid-round pushes. 2 dead right now. 3 cap is needed for Optic Gaming. All eyes on that E-hill and that F-hill. E-hill's gonna be broken. All comes down to the F-hill. 1 member goes down. The team fire is too strong. Look at EU's Finest playing perfect. Team crossing. Shotguns are gonna clean up the kills, and EU's Finest is gonna go up 5-2 over Optic Gaming.
Wow. Optic Gaming back against the wall here. Yes, they're picking up the first map. It's great. It's all glory for the green wall. But right now, it's all eyes on EU's Finest. These boys on your screen, and Crazed, a player for me, which really highlighted that round over by the Incinerator. He was fantastic.
Undoubtedly. That was one of the most unique rounds I've seen in Gears Esports. You saw a stalemated 1v1 on Control Tower, a stalemated 1v1 mid-map, and then on that E-hill, a 3v3 that was won thanks to an amazing performance from Crazed after a missed opportunity on a missed roll from Explosive. Crazed single-handedly the MVP of that round, going huge with 22 kills. Not one member of Optic even close to 20 kills.
Yeah, there's only 2 hidden double digits. Wow. That says a lot. What are we seeing here? Optic Gaming, of course, suffering against EU's Finest. And EU's Finest must have so much hype, so much momentum going into this now, and so much confidence. Will it transition into these initials?
Yeah, big 2v2 fight up top, Crazed and Solars. And then Marsh, Crazed is going to rotate high side. He downs 1. Crazed continues to go on a tear here, as now it's going to be a 1 versus 1 against Solars once again. Expect this one to be stalemated, or is Crazed really truly feeling himself? This time, losing the fight down low is EU's Finest.
Well, here he is. Crazed is making that move. He's got to drop the smoke, combine the stun, and here it is. Shotgun in hand, going to tag him up. Will he go for the kill? That is the question. Crazed is feeling so confident right now.
And yeah, Solars is just going to run. He's actually going to bait him. Turns around, they're going to trade kills there. A nice bait from Solars. Those are the small things that Solars done that really is different gameplay. Here comes the push. Krim has got caught on impact a few times, trying to go for down players. This time he's going to wisen up, back out and reset. And now we're going to see an opportunity for EU's Finest to get a break here on this E-hill. What will their break strategy be? Looks like they're sending 4 over to E-hill.
Here we go, and there you see them backing off. 4 players, they could almost jump on it right now. There's 1 player in the middle. Here, that's security office. 2 players for Optic actually near the control room, which is probably not where you want to have a lot of your resources, but Incinerator was let off for a second there.
And what's very interesting about this round, there's no power weapons on the map, so it makes it so difficult for Crazed and Co. to push this fight. You can't go high side to grab a power weapon and then rotate it low side. You can't go mid to grab nades or boom and rotate it over to E-hill. You have to push into a defensive brick wall, or should I say a green wall that is Optic Gaming. As Marsh pushing this fight on Crazed up top. Crazed tagged up, he goes down. Mental though Still alive, a back A from Crazed, a double kill from Crazed, and he now has 26 as he's flying for that FL. Meanwhile, Crim's gonna take out one. This is a 3-cap opportunity for EU's finest to go into game point here. All up to Summons. Summons tagged up full red. He's not gonna be able to do anything. He gets taken out, but the FL will be broken. Nice job from Optic holding on.
Really nice job. They might be in the lead, but EU's finest control the map, control the pace, and just like that, explosive praise. Pick up 3 and maybe a counter here. Velpsy is going to answer back at a much needed kill for EU's finest, but 4 dead, only Crazed alive. He's going to set off that incinerator, but my friend, it looks like they've gone to the home hill.
Yeah, he 100% should have waited for that E-hill. He could have bought himself at least another 20 seconds or so, but he's going to want to rotate in the fight. It's going to cost him. He's going to get taken out there. So a uncanny misplay right there from Crazed, as he's going to get taken out. Obviously no way he could have known he was going to get pushed there, but 1v1 Solars and Marsh. Marsh is going to come out on top in that one. Crim takes out one, his duo, and now a 4-on-3 opportunity, make it a 4-on-2 for EU's finest. They need to get that E-hill and they need to get it quick.
Yeah, it needs to be over near the incinerator. You see one player going back and forth. It's actually Crazed, who will be staying alive for a little bit, but he's going to be down. He's going to be finished off, it looks like him.
Crim again misses that kill on Crazed. On Praised, actually. The 2-cap is in. Look at the score at the top left of your screen, 185 to 183. The E-hill's gonna be broken though, and that's gonna go in Optic's favor, but look at Hydrone overextending to the FL. He's gonna break this FL. I don't know if it'll be enough. He needs to cap it. Instead, he's gonna go rotate to E. I think if he capped it, they would've won off of points, but maybe he knows something that I don't. Here comes the E-hill push. Pistol out for Hydrone, 1 versus 1 against Mental. He breaks it, but they don't have a hill to their name. I would have liked to have seen Hydrone cap that F-hill. Instead, Optic Gaming is going to steal that round.
Frustrating.
Well, take the round. I wouldn't say steal. He controlled the map.
Yeah, frustrating to say the least. So that's a round which, again, we talk about it as an underdog, as a favorite. That's a round that they potentially could have taken away from Optic Gaming. That would have put them 6-2 in the lead. Instead, now we see a 5-3. A world of difference. This gives Optic that taste of blood. And we know what Optic can do. They go in now, of course, to round 9, and things get a little different. We get the boom, of course, with 14 seconds respawn, 27 kills. My goodness, Crazed.
And I called it. They were so close to that game point when they had 3 dead in the 5-on-2, and the 2 members of Optic Gaming, thanks to a huge double kill from Explosive, keeps them alive over on that F-hill. A great job by Optic staying alive and then ending up taking the round here. What a great round from Optic. Marsh going to go down early for that boom shot, so looks like Optic is actually able to adapt to the mid-round push, the strategy.
Yeah. They're looking good here. 4 in the middle, a lot of smoke, but who picks up the initial? Solars and Mental. That means the boom, and this is dangerous here. Do Optic Gaming gain momentum? Not a hill to a name, but knowing Optic, they'll be looking for that triple cap. E is in their favor. F is in their favor. Solars are rotating around now, and with 5 players dead, 1 coming off spawn, it's all up to Marsh to break on through. He's going to be faced by 1. We'll find him. He's going to be in trouble, but my goodness, Marsh, what are you doing? He finds the double. It might be too late, though. That's the question. Can he hold on? He's broken F. He keeps EU's finest in the game.
Look at that boom from Solars. He's going to launch that like a rocket across the map. Doesn't connect with that boom, but Marsh just went massive, Momo. You couldn't have called it better. 2 kills picked up for him to keep his team in it. One of them was a reaction shot off of a melee from Praised. What a play from Marsh.
Here he is on your screen. 17 kills to his name. The problem right now is they're down by a lot of points. I think it's about 65 to 10 if you like. But we do see E going in the hands of EU's finest. They're not out of this, and Marsh may have just given them a lifeline.
Yeah, keep in mind that boom shot will be respawning in about 30 seconds, so all eyes on that boom. If EU's finest can grab that boom shot, they can secure a triple cap to win this round. That boom will be the deciding factor of this round. Expect teams to converge around that fight in just a moment. Beautiful play from Marsh.
Oh, he's missed his shot though. Location revealed. Now how did he go about it? Crazed looking to rotate round. As you say, you got to think about that boom, and he's getting tagged up. All red, oh my goodness. Crazed is going to go down, but he's going to be picked right back up, and again, the revive chain available. Explosive right there, trying to look for the headshot.
And Marsh is going to go down, going for that kill. So a few times Marsh and Crim have gotten baited for. Of course, it's a tough situation to be in, but Praise is going to get tagged up. Marksa versus Marksa. Explosive is going to keep Phelpsy's head down. Praise is going to take him out, and that should secure them the boom shot, but look at Hydrone staying very sneaky. The Marks has been a huge difference maker with it in Explosive's hands.
Oh my, there you have it. Boom in action, and already being capitalized on. Are Optic Gaming available to close this one out? That's the question. Next couple of kills could decide this. 2's already down. Hydrone and Crim, they're going to be coming off spawn soon. A big fight up top though. Praise has been feeling himself with 27 kills. I don't blame him, but he's rolling into trouble. Will Praise be able to get one better of him? 1v1 still going down, but in the midst of all this, the points are going up for Optic.
Look at this, they're gonna send 2 up top to kill Crazed, and someone shooting from low side. Everyone trying to kill Crazed right now with the performance he's having. And this is gonna go Optic's way. I mean, Boom Shot was in their hands. They won that Boom fight, and that was the difference maker. Thanks to some big players from Explosive. Praised was down actually, and Marsh got down by Explosive as it marks. I don't think we've been spectating Explosive enough to see how much of an impact he's had on this map, but Explosive is playing so incredibly well, despite what the stat line might say.
Well, there you have it, 203 and counted. Marsh does find the double. He's going to pad those stats a little bit, but not going to affect the round score. Optic Gaming now just 1 round behind at 5-4.
You can almost feel the pendulum swinging halfway through that round, Momo, in Optic's favor. The momentum being gained, and Optic is starting to heat up. We all know what can happen when these 5 Slayers, these 5 talent, all heat up on one team.
Kind of crazy to think. And you sat in EU's finest chair right now. You were up against Optic. You're feeling yourself. You've lost a couple rounds back to back, and you start to almost feel it slip through your fingers here. They are still in the lead. Craze still dropping 27. We've got 21 for Hydrone as well. 3 of the players for EU's finest still, in fact 4, under 200 seconds, time dead, but Optic Gaming live to fight another day. The story continues. Can Optic Gaming fight their way back into this one?
And I said despite what the stats say, but look at Explosive's performance. I blinked and he had 19 kills and 17 downs. He has turned it up these last few rounds. Has almost all members of Optic Gaming now in double digits. Craze going to take out Mental in the 1v. So a 3v3 fight when the dust is settled here. And look at that, Marksa from Explosive. Unbelievable performance from him. He's going to fly at Craze now.
Yeah, he's got 19 kills, 18 downs, 20 kills now to his name. Is he going to survive? No. Craze is going to shut him down here, but we are going to see Craze go down. Solar's pick up that boom as well. With 3 players down here, it is lying at a 4v2. Difficult position, but Optic Gaming, how do they act upon this one again? These respawns, they're getting higher and higher. Your lives are getting more important as time goes on. But for me, like you said, Explosive stat line over the last couple of rounds has been incredible.
Yep, 2 dead right now, but Boom Shot in the hands of Solars. He's going to stay sneaky over here. Marsh has no idea that he's there with that boom. This should be an easy kill. 5 on 3 right now for EU's finest. They do have 2 down, but it's hard to capitalize on this Boom Shot staring you in the face. Solar's going to rotate it over. Picks up that boom, and actually a team kill on Mental. That's costly. So that's negated. Is now Explosive pushing this fight against Craze. He gets taken out.
Yeah, Crazy's going to find a kill. That's really big, and he's still got the boom shot as well. Capitalizes on that one. Nice, easy kill. However, F being challenged. You've got to get in there, and they will do. However, that's a great push from EU's finest. I love what they did there. The boom team kill didn't help anyone.
Now they're at a disadvantage here. 5 on 3, and look how Optic plays their numbers. They know they have the advantage, and they're flying at this E-Hill to take their numbers so incredibly well. That's really a difference in Optic. If you give them an inch, again, they will take that mile. And it's showing exactly why right now.
Praise trades things out with Hydrone again. Couple of kills could change the game. Explosive finds Felpsy. Praise finds Hydrone, and here we go. 3 put on timers, make it 4 potentially. He's going to be taken down. He being Crim, and Optic Gaming now, like you said, charging at them, trying to find it. Marsh, oh my goodness, Marsh has found another double, but he will go down eventually. May have bought himself some time, but again, Marsh coming up clutch with a big double kill.
Yep, that double kill from Marsh is huge. And Crazed could have snuck away up top right there to control room. Instead, he decides to push towards E-Hill with his teammates, actually. Smart call because Hydrone is breaking that E-Hill. Crazed cannot get a kill here. He's going to get taken out. Great job by Crazed to avoid the 1 shot. And now, 5 on 4. I know it's a slight lead, but a 5 on 4 means that there's a 2 on 1 somewhere on the map. Find that 2 on 1. I think it's on Solars, as Boomshot will be up in the next 5 seconds on that timer. Marsh takes out Solars. Boomshot has respawned. He's going to pick it up, and he's going to pick up a kill on Mental. And this is a perfect opportunity, but again, EU's finest, you need to close this round. There are 2 dead right now, and you have a boom shot in your hands, and you have 1 member full red. Explosive gets taken out here. But EU's finest not going to capitalize. They're going to back out and reset here.
Frustrating for them. You saw Explosive. He got a kill just before he got taken down. But the score is tallying up. This is looking good for EU's finest. They may not be getting the triple cap right now, but Optic Gaming, we know what they're capable of. Can they push 5-5? Are they going to be the ones to really turn this round on their head? Or do EU's finest close it out? Summons has gone down.
There you go. Crim takes out 1. He's going to get traded out, though. 4 on 4 fight. Solars goes down. Marsh is also down. Does he bait the kill? Craze instead decides to play it wide. He knows they went off of 1. They're going to turtle up. So rather than going for the win when they had a 5 on 3 or a 4 on 2, they decide to turtle up in their home hill. 207 is that magic number. Someone's going to get in the hill. And that is going to be a break. It's all up to Hydrone on the flank. He takes out one. Crim comes on the flank as well. They just need a cap. All they need is 1 point, and they are going to get it. Yes, they are. EU's finest. Game point to force a game number 3.
And I love what they did as well, out of the blue as well. You saw E being depleted and taken over. We saw one player from EU's finest track back and just play the real safe game here. EU's finest 1 round away from sending this to a map 3 Fallout. Optic Gaming, the first time challenge really. We heard praise, that man on your screen right there, Snub Echo Fox, saying this is not a test. Well, I'll tell him right now, this is a test for him. Is he gonna pass?
Couldn't have said it better myself. Praise in that interview also said, you have the 5 best players in the game. No one has the slaying power that we have. EU's finest proving that these 5 who are so incredibly gifted at this game. I mean, and the reality is, they don't have the opportunity to scrim as much as these American teams do. They're on a different time zone. The fact that they still have done what they've done, it is case study worthy. It is remarkable. Pure talent on this team.
I'm just hoping we get this map 3. I want to settle this between 2 beasts, this winner bracket final. One of these 2 teams will be in that grand final, potentially will be your MLG New Orleans champions. However, that is in the near distance. On your screen is Marsh. He's trying to book himself a spot in map number 3 for now. And Explosives down. This is great, but Mental's picked up a kill elsewhere. The respawn's so high. This is going to be punishing.
Summons full red, nothing he can do there. The boom shot is still up and available. Right now, there are 4 members dead of Optic Gaming. Praise is the last alive in a 1v against Hydrone, and Praise is gonna get taken down. The respawns are coming. Solars is up, but you have a boom shot. The boom is gonna miss. And now, EU's finest. Will they force a game 3? The Instant is also gonna miss here. Needs to connect for this boom shot is Marsh. And he's not gonna get the kill. They're gonna back out.
I almost like what he did though. He plays it a little bit safer. It's almost like a panic. He shoots that boom and misses, doesn't connect. Right now they've got all the map control. You're playing as the better team. You play to your confidence right now. And Marsh knows he's still got the boom shot in. He can dictate the pace. 1 more push, 1 more kill. The boom comes through. Mental's gonna go down and EU's finest trying to lock their spot in map number 3. My goodness, everyone's getting taken down, but Solars is going to enter as well. Breaks it 1 more time, still stays alive, and this game is not over just yet.
Brian Solars just went huge to save that round. Hydrone on the flank. He's going to get taken out. The downs come through, but the revive chain comes through as well. This D-Hill fight has been utter madness, and EU's finest is not able to close this out when they had the perfect, picture-perfect opportunity.
They have to lead 90 points. However, we know what a team like the Green Wall can do. He's going to be lit up here by Phelps. He's going to buy EU's finest a little bit of time. It's a 100-point lead and counting. This is EU's finest round. Everything points to them to book themselves a map in this series. However, Optic Gaming, they've got a wall, a mountain to climb here.
I know the score says this should be EU's finest round, but you gave Optic a wide open opportunity. All it takes is 1 ace, and there's 18-second respawn timers. So a wipe of EU's finest means Optic Gaming will win this round. Instin's in the hands of Marsh. Boom shot respawning in 15 seconds here. 1 member of EU's finest goes down. Marsh is completely useless over at this E-Hill, and he's going to be full red. You can almost feel the nerves right now for Marsh. And he's going to get taken out.
Away. Look at the kill feed. Summons, Mental, Explosive. 3 players go down, make it 4, and this is where Optic Gaming can pounce. They're jumping on a huge 1v1. Crim needs to stay alive. He needs to challenge, but it's been going down. He's going to have the 2v1 as well. Not looking good for Crim as he's going to fall, and the domination potential coming in. Are Optic Gaming going to do it? Are they going to? Summons and Explosive go off, and that's it. They bite back, and Praise knows what a crucial round that is. EU's finest, they had it. The fingertip was on that 3rd map, but right now, they've got to feel like that was theirs for the taking. They throw it away.
Undoubtedly. I would have liked to have seen Crim in that scenario ignore the E-Hill fight, overextend, break the away hill, and be a nuisance. By doing that, you force 1 or 2 members of Optic Gaming back to their spawn to track you, which opens up the opportunity for your team to push E-Hill and to push your home hill. Instead, Crim tries to fight a 1v2. He forces an awkward fight. He gets taken out, and Optic Gaming has an opportunity to win 3 straight here. You do not give Optic that opportunity. You have to close against Optic when you can. They had 2 boom shots. Marsh missed the first, and they were not able to finish that round despite only 1 or 2 members of Optic being alive.
And the amount of adrenaline going into this round here. The boom is still available. The marks are still on the map here. Optic Gaming, they push this to around 13, and you start to get a little nervous here. However, Like a quick update there, Ghost Gaming 7-2, that's going to a map 3 on Bravo. You can check it all out. However, on Alpha right now, we have one of the best games so far. Optic Gaming is being tested finally.
Oh my God.
Prim puts 2 to bed. Craze finds 1. March is going to find another. These are 20-second respawns. Surely this is going to be where EU's finest put it to bed.
It needs to be, but guess who's alive? It's still Summons, who's one of the most annoying players in the game. Again, only one member alive, that's Summons. There's no reason EU's finest does not take this round again with their numbers advantage. Summons going to be tagged up full red. They're going to backtrack for Summons. He goes down. They need to finish this this F-Hill fight. They need support there. Boom shot is taken. I think Marsh had boom shot, and he got taken out by nades, I believe. Anyone else had boom shot? No. Marsh had boom and got taken out, and again, Optic Gaming can bounce back.
Initials. EU's finest are winning those first fights every single time here. However, they do have the 2 hills. It means nothing. We've said it before, Optic Gaming. They can just come through here like a train, take 3-4 down, and they will pounce. They will punish you for it. But you've got to credit EU's finest for what they're doing right now. They are in the lead. They do have the hills. Can they close it out?
Explosive down. It's not very easy to get that kill, though. He's going to go for it anyways. He's going to pick it up. Phelpsy with a huge play on Explosive. That's your 5-on-4. Need to play smart, play your angles. You can't let Mental do mental things in that fight, as they're gonna try and isolate Craze. Craze downs 1, he needs some help. Hydrone is gonna stay alive here by the tip of his tongue. And now 3 dead for Optic Gaming. Make that 4 dead. Solar's the only member alive. And surely EU's finest will close this one out against Solars.
They have to. This is it. They're jumping on the hill. No one in sight. It's only Solars. He's gonna go down as well as the F-Hill comes in. EU's finest. The break doesn't go down. And Optic Gaming have been challenged. They have been tested. We're going to map 3. EU's finest come out with the goods.
Wow, what an unbelievable game number 2. One of the best I've seen. And man, this EU's finest roster is scary. Despite quite a few errors in team strategy and an inability to close, they still win. Can you imagine an EU's finest roster if they sharpen the knife a little bit and perfect some of those mistakes? They are a force to be reckoned with.
Fallout, I think they're already there. Somewhere Benson is smiling. I'm gonna throw some stats at you. Round 9, Craze, 27 kills. You know who else also had 27 kills? Explosives and Mental combined. Now, I always preach mental fortitude, and that's exactly what this EU's finest roster has. In round 8, Craze pushed Mental and Praise at the same time to get a double kill. He didn't hesitate, he didn't think twice, and that's what you need to do in order to show Optic Gaming that you're not a pushover.
Yeah, completely agreed. They outperformed Optic in every single category as it relates to individual skill. Their shotguns are blazing hot, and that says something. We said Optic has the 5 best players in the game. I gotta argue otherwise, as my man Benson is sitting here smiling.
Benson is cheesing. No, another stat that our analyst brought up to me is that Optic Gaming, they're 100% on this map.
They haven't lost.
Right, and what about EU's finest?
Now, EU's finest, they were actually at a 25% win on this map, and they come out, they beat Optic. Optic has not dropped this map during this event. Now, going into this next one, we're going to have Reclaimed. Reclaimed is going to be it's going to be a bloodbath. Insanity. Yeah. I'm telling you, I had to pick my heart up off the ground a few times watching that match.
I saw my man Cleaner lose it next to me. I love it.
Oh my God, man! Some of the initials, like I was being driven mad almost because they're winning the initials, but they're just not applying the proper pressure at the right time, and they're giving Optic Gaming this a little bit of foothold, and you can't do that. John put it perfectly. You cannot let Mental do mental things. And you got to keep that pressure up.
Yeah, I agree. And the frustrating thing for me was watching that game, and you won't hear me say this very often, but I think Optic should have lost by more.
Oh, yeah.
I really do. Those rounds were coming in. EU's finest were letting it slip. Optic Gaming, they were almost being given that little taste of blood. They pounced on it. They've got I'd say 2 rounds in particular where EU's finest could have closed it out. And you could hear almost, I could hear the frustration in John's voice. It should have been going to EU's finest.
That's the former player in me. I'm sorry.
No, it's beautiful to see, but I will say Optic Gaming, you have to credit their clutch factor. And this is Optic Gaming just doing Optic Gaming things. This is what they do. However, they are tested on the main stage. They are pushed to a map 3. And for me, this is what Gears Esports is. This is what it comes down to. These winner bracket final games are crazy. And one map determines who goes on to that grand final.
And the thing is, you got to think about it. The first team to really do anything to Optic Gaming in Season 2 was this EU's finest squad. Can they do it again?
They just showed us that they could. One thing that there was an opportunity that you guys actually pointed out was Hydrone on that rotation on that F-Hill. instead of just capping that home hill, right, he goes to fight that E. Let your team that's coming off spawn, let them take that fight. You've already overextended. You're in your opponent's home hill. Stay there, get the points. I feel like they could have actually come out on top with that round if he would have just kind of been a little bit more patient.
Yes.
Just know where your team is and know what you need to be doing at that time.
Yeah, and quite a few of those. Momo, you mentioned it. That map easily should have been 7-2, 7-3, maybe 7-1. Honestly, so many rounds and so many opportunities. But again,
I don't know about 7-0.
Yeah, about that much. You're going to have yourself.
7-0.5.
We were critical, but again, it goes to show how skilled this EU's Finest roster is. I think two things there. EU's Finest, with a little bit of inconsistency and some opportunities, did what they just did.
Yeah. It
also shows that this says how good they are. It also shows that Optic has quite a few weaknesses. They are not there yet in terms of chemistry. You saw sometimes explosive pushing, and his team wasn't there behind him. The timing was a little bit off. It's not that they're bad. It's just that's what 3 weeks of practice will do to you. Their chemistry is not there yet.
I point that out myself. You want to keep in mind they've been together for effectively 3 weeks. Phenomenal talent on the roster, but it takes time to kind of build that synergy and build that trust.
Yep. You can see it.
Now, down the line real quick before the tiebreaker map starts, predictions.
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna stick to what I originally said. I think 2-1 Optic Gaming.
All right.
As much as I would love EU's Finest to win.
Spit it out, Cleaner.
EU's Finest. Right now, I am feeling it after watching that match. If they can keep it close, keep it tight-knit like they were, they've cleaned things up tremendously in this event. And if they stay well-polished, they can give Optic a damn good run.
All right, guys, here we go. Tiebreaker game. EU's Finest and Optic Gaming. Fallout and Momo, take it away.
Okay, Fallout, you're not getting away with that one. Give me a prediction. What are you thinking?
Man, I thought I had it. Belly threw me a lifeboat.
I want to hear it. We've got EU's Finest for Cleaner. I've gone Optic Gaming's way.
Yep. This is honestly, I've predicted a lot of matches. This is probably one of the hardest matches I've had to predict. EU's Finest is great on Reclaimed.
I'm feeling the butt.
But I'm a man of my word, and for that reason alone, I got to stick with Optic Gaming. But EU's Finest is great on Reclaimed, so it's going to be a tough one.
Oh, I just want give me another round 13. That's what I want to see. Smoke's going down. We're already into the action. 3 kills going down. I tell you what, Mental picking up a double, always nice to see. However, if you're a Green Wall Chan, or Green Wall Chan, a Green Wall fan, get in the chat. Let us know. Span those emotes and we'll see exactly what the Green Wall can do here. But on your screen is Mental. He's looking for that Lancer Fire. That support role will be coming in.
Yep, and get the Green Wall in here. They need your energy. They need your support. Optic update. Where are you at right now? Optic Gaming, 1 map away from either sitting in the championship finals or having to grind through that loser's bracket final.
Mental on your screen still alive and kicking. 3 kills to his name. Is starting hot. Ooh, there's 4.
Okay, this is, I was gonna point something out in between maps, and that was one question only. Where's Mental? You didn't see him show up in map number 2, in my opinion, the way we're used to it. And we need him to step up here. Man, 4 kills already. He's looking right back like the robot he is in map number 3.
I love this confidence. 4 kills to his name, pushing forward, putting damage in. Hello, Phelpsy. Goodbye, Phelpsy. It's as simple as that. It's like 3 baby steps to the goal, and we see Mental just going around. His teammates are putting kills in as well. He's looking for number 6, and he's going to take it. He's going to put an extra shot in just for good luck as well. Mental, 6 kills.
This is an angry Mental, and you can see it, a little bit of a teabag there. He is pissed that they lost that map number 2, that they're in the situation that he is, and he's about to unleash the beast right now as Optic Gaming with the 3-cap domination opportunity here, and it looks like they will secure it.
Well, they're going to try break a bit, but nope, not going to happen. You can crawl on in after we win the round, he says, as he smacks him in the face with the butt of the gun.
And that's a near perfect round for Optic Gaming. They win the initial. Look at the kills category. 6 kills for Mental already. Oh, and you can see it on their face. They are pissed that they lost that second map. And that's ultimately why I stuck with that Optic prediction is EU's Finest won that second map, but they showed, again, a lot of errors, a lot of mistakes. I think you can't do that. Maybe they got away with it in map number 2 because they played so incredibly well. But you got to wonder, can you do it twice in a row against Optic Gaming? It's tough to say. They really got to play perfect if they want to win this one. Yeah, the experience may show through on this one, but we don't want to rule it out. Ooh. We saw, obviously, the first 2 maps, they started, 1-0, 1-1, and then it started to get a little out of hand on map 1. Map 2, though, you guys just saw it absolutely incredible. If you're just joining us, it's all tied up. We are going to a map number 3. This is where we are going to give our first grand finalist a chance to get on that main stage, maybe have a chat with Farouk as well, and tell the opposing teams
what they're able to expect from them in that grand final. But round 2 coming up straight away.
We're going to have an Enforcer placed here. Very interesting. Something we don't see often in the meta. Hydron and Explosive both going to pick up that Enforcer. Clearly they've been practicing, maybe in some Horde here, as Explosive and Hydron using that Enforcer close range. And then Hydron says, you know what, I'm just going to go back to my shotgun. I'm going to stick with what works. Trusty old shotgun.
Well, there you go. Mental's the one to pick it up again with a killed. Marsh was a player who really lit it up. Not a kill to his name just yet. We are going to see Phelpsy try his very best, but he's under fire by a couple of players there. Again, who is it to finish him off? None other than Mental.
And Krim actually wins the 1v against Summons right there. So interesting to see Krim playing that 1v1 spot. Maybe more of a 1v1 player than I had anticipated, as opposed to Hydron playing low side. Of course, Hydron I think is great in that B-Hill fight, so I like that call.
Looking at the overhead, full B control here for Optic Game. And again, that height advantage really does give them so much knowledge of the players and where they are and what they're doing. Krim on your screen though. Just trying to get some information, maybe guiding that towards his teammates. But the problem right now is his teammates are outnumbered here. And we are going to see Hydron push on forward. Lancefire going down. He has taken a few bullets himself. Phelpsy and Mental picking up kills elsewhere. Mental, my goodness, I need to see the stats of this man already. But Hydron, he's going to be the one to fall. Marsh is available maybe to pick him up, and there you have it. He's going to be alive and kicking, and Hydron will go once more, but only for a little bit.
Wow, Optic Gaming is looking perfect right now. Their initial strats are pristine. Their setup is impossible to break. Optic Gaming looking impeccable in this third map here. We'll see if they can keep that up, or if EU's Finest can find some of that same magic we saw in map number 2.
2 down, Phelpsy and Krim. Optic Gaming, they already secured round number 1. Mental has 11 kills to his name. And right now we're going to see another domination come in for the boys of Optic Gaming. The Championship Sunday jerseys are on. It's all white here for these guys. And Phelpsy and company are going to be trying to stop that green wall.
Yeah, right now there's a loss for words. Honestly, that map right there, though, or that round right there, the initial was not horribly lost, so I wouldn't lose too much faith. We know that EU's Finest likes to place boom shot quite often, but now it looks like they're going to block something out. I think they're still confident in that fight up top, and I would be too. I think it's been a close one. They just haven't gotten any control yet, but if they win an initial, they can take their advantages, they'll be in a good spot.
And this is obviously what Cleaner was saying as well. You know, sometimes they put the boom a little bit early on map number 1 rather than just kind of go off their own back. Shout out to Waldo, of course, guiding you through all the action. Our observer here for the winner bracket final, amongst a few more which you'll hear us giving some credit to. But right now we're going to be Optic Gaming 2, EU's Finest 0 in map number 3, our final map of the series here. Who is going to take it? Let's jump on board with Phelpsy for round 3.
Quick stats update a bit. Again, big shout to Prodigy and the team that's providing these updates. Optic Gaming has yet to play Reclaimed in this tournament. Meanwhile, EU's Finest has a 50% win rate on Reclaimed in this event.
Prodigy, another stat for you. I've not casted Reclaimed. I've been waiting, so thank you. We get to see it. It's a lot of fun, for sure. We've seen a lot of Forge Blitz. We've seen a lot of Foundation. But right now, it's all down to Reclaimed. This is all that matters here. Krim on your screen. He's going to roll around into trouble. One's going to go down, but it's not going to be enough here. Explosive's going to pick him right back up. And the Enforcer living up to their name.
Mental playing with such aggression here. He's finally going to get taken out. But look at this flank from Explosive. Playing as General Ram himself. Takes out 2 on the flank. We are now 3-0 up Optic Gaming. They are just running away with this one in game number 3.
Praise makes me laugh, man. He's getting hyped. He's on the end there.
He's pissed.
I'm glad he's not in the middle. He'd be pushing people out of their chairs at this point. He needs a little bit more space, that man does. And the crowd getting the hype for Optic Gaming right now. EU's Finest. They've got a big fan base themselves here, but green wall, very hard to beat.
You'd think it's the crowd, but I turn around and it sounds like an entire crowd. It's 5 players on Ghost Gaming getting amped up 2-0 right now over Echo Fox in game number 3. We'll keep providing those updates, but Ghost Gaming is steamrolling in map 2 and map 3 of that series.
It is all kicking off. We're seeing these map 3s. This is bound to happen when you have such talent here and you get to this Championship Sunday. Mental, Solars, oh, Mental's just got another as well. That's going to be 4 down, and this is dangerous here as we see Optic Gaming already 3-0 up. Mental's pushing forward, 13 kills to his name. You said we hadn't seen Mental in map number 2. Well, he's back.
And, you see, I like that call from EU's Finest. Ooh, Explosive's going to get caught out there. But EU's Finest, fight was not working up top. They decide, hey, definition of insanity, let's change things up here. Let's place the fight low by placing a power weapon low side. And even that doesn't work. Everything's going Optic Gaming's favor right now. But we're going to finally see a round where we can slow down a little bit. Looks like for the first time, maybe not a 3-cap domination coming in quick here. It's been a fast one. You blink and it's 3-0 up. So right now, in this situation, down 2 hills to 1. Typically the play is pushing for B hill, but there is an opportunity to push home and away. It looks like EU's Finest is opting for a home and away hill push, but what that means is Explosive and Co have a huge angle on you from that B hill perch and from high side. So you're going to be pushing into Lancers, and those are laser sharp Lancers from Optic Gaming.
Just reloading downs here, and you said it yourself, Fallout. We've been able to almost take a breath. You know, slow things down, reflect on the game, and I think EU's Finest need to draw these rounds out a little bit longer. Otherwise, they're going to be dead and buried within the next 10-15 minutes at this rate. But Hydrone just tucking himself away in the corner here, trying to get some information. At this time, though, EU's Finest has got 1 hill. What do they do right now? B, obviously, such a hard one to crack. They're losing the points. The time is ticking. How do EU's Finest get back into this?
So you need a well-planned break strategy. All 5 smokes need to be thrown as screens and as stuns, a combination of both, to push either that C hill or B hill, whichever one you opt to kind of do. But each team has predetermined smoke spots when they make these breaks happen. And you want to see that come through as a nice flank here from Hydrone on Explosive. Explosive getting caught out for a second time here. Here comes the push. Hydrone on the flank, but Praised is, I think it's Praised, is so good in that bowl. He's one of the best players in that spot, and he puts some good shots into Hydrone.
Here we go, still in round number 4. This is a very, very long round, but the time is ticking. 160's been broken right now, and Optic Gaming, they're looking so, so strong. They're just almost holding this form. They know exactly what is needed of them. Praised and Solar's up top, Explosive down by C. But I can see these players of EU's Finest starting to collapse. The smoke and stuns are going to come through. Can they break in? Phelpsy does have that boom as well. 2-1 as the split goes down and the kills come in. Crims fell, but now he may be able to be picked up. He will be, and that's going to be summoned to fall. But the problem is, 200's been reached. They need a triple cap or they need to neutralize.
Keep in mind, 207 is that magic number. Once you get to 207, because it takes 3 seconds to break a hill, you will win the game. And of course, they're not able to get in by 207, so Optic Gaming goes up 4-0. Completely dominating, not much to be said, and I would actually like to take a quick moment to thank all of our staff at the Coalition for supporting this event in such a major way. Of course, Xbox as well. We have Xbox in the house, we have the Coalition in the house. A big shout out to Ryan Cleven, the lead multiplayer designer for Gears of War, attending his first esports event in a very long time. He's a huge fan of esports himself. He watches every event from home. He had a chance to attend this one. It's been amazing to have him in the audience, as well as Otto, Peter, and the rest of the Coalition staff. Of course, those watching at home as well. Big shout to Tay, Michael, and everyone watching at home.
Been fantastic so far, and trust me, it's your first event. It is not over yet. 4-0 for Optic Gaming. We've got a couple more games to bring your way here on Alpha on Bravo. News just in, obviously, the noise that we heard before was a triple cap come through from Ghost Gaming when Echo Fox was sat on 209. That is what really is Gears Esports, those nail-biting finishes. Right now, though, Optic Gaming are not allowing this map 3 to be that way. They are ruining the hopes and dreams of Europeans right now as 4 go down. It's all up to Phelpsy, and this is not what you want to see.
We just call that Mental's corner. I think Mental just claimed that spot. He played that perfectly on left-hand disadvantage. Someone comes in for the right-hand chunk, not able to connect, and the 3 cap is going to come through. Optic Gaming is back to pure form here. Another day in the office for Solars. Praise is getting hyped, and Optic is playing near perfect Gears of War right now, looking so incredibly strong.
So good to see, but EU's Finest. From map 1 and map 2, we saw, hope, we saw, back and forth. We saw even engagements a little bit closer. What is this the map that's just favoring Optic Gaming? Is just the positioning? I don't know why EU's Finest kind of fell off. We saw obviously before the game, Cleaner was kind of really rooting for these guys and getting behind these guys, but what's going wrong?
Honestly, nothing is going their way. Look at the kills right now. Barely cracking 5 kills are EU's Finest. Meanwhile, on the flip side, what's going wrong? One person, that's Mental. He turned up in game number 3. 18 kills to his name. He is the MVP of Gears of War 4, and he is proving why.
I think he heard you.
I think he did.
I think he got real pissed when someone said he did not turn up map 2. He said, okay, well, let me show you what I got. He doesn't even need the boom. He's going to let his teammates take that one, and he's going to have a 1v1. Usually that goes in his favor. Kill feed, red, blood, red. as we see EU's finest put the controllers down almost. How long was that round?
35 seconds tops. Wow. Look, even Mental's getting a little vocal here. He was even pissed after that game 2 loss.
It's like, we need this game to go longer. I need more kills. I am not happy. 20 is not enough. But I mean, what a guy himself, just turning up. The man himself, known for some crazy gear stuff. He'll be looking to lift that trophy at the end of this, but right now it is final map, potentially final round. 19 to his name. Crazy stat line, to say the least.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the overhead map and see this initial strat.
EU's finest has 20 kills.
Unbelievable. Mental has as 19. Many as all 5 of them almost. Are you kidding me? Mental, who are you? Unbelievable performance. Mental from St. Louis. Arguably the best player in Gears of War 4. He's going to keep popping off. We're just going to stay with him. Because Mental officially has more kills than all of EU's finest.
He's just running at him right now. He's probably got, right now, he has more kills than EU's finest. And we're 7 rounds in. Fact.
How many times can you say that in any esport?
Too many times.
For him, at least.
My goodness. This is just not looking good. EU's finest. I mean, yes, you're down 6-0. You've lost all momentum. The boys of Optic Gaming starting to run away with it. You've got to try something, change something up, but I feel for the guys. It's so hard to get back into a game like this when someone like Mental or Optic Gaming, they're just going off. They're controlling the game, and again, we do see EU's finest pick up a couple of kills, credit to them, but they're 2 hills down and they're back against the wall. They've got to go for that E hill.
So I want to see EU's finest string this momentum into a round win here by pushing E and D simultaneously. They're going to do the exact split that they need to do. All you need to do is break that away hill to get some points back in your favor, rotate E, secure that E hill, and then hold the 2 hill setup. Keep in mind here, this is the first round of the second half, so player respawn timers are only 10 seconds. You want to play more for hill control and kills than you want to play for the 3-cap domination. And that's exactly what EU's finest is doing here, playing incredibly well.
So far, so
this
good.
Round, at least.
Yeah, I mean, at least they've managed to get back in. They could have got bodied in the first 45 seconds once again, and Optic Gaming would have been chuckling their way through to a grand final. You know what? They may be at the end of this round, but EU's finest are trying to just put the foot on the brake, slow things down, hold things off. 2 go down either side. F is being changed hands here. Optic Gaming still in the lead, but EU's finest, they're taking control of that home hill for now.
So despite this strong mid-round effort, they're still behind by 10 points because of a great start from Optic. They got to keep this up. They got to basically do what they just did again. Easier said than done. Flank's going to come through. Nice shot by Hydrone. Again, having someone's name in that fight. 1v1 now. Hydrone going to get taken out by Praise. Nice job. Good roadie strafe and roadie push from Praise there to pick up that fight. Or that kill, sorry. On board with Marsh now. Flanking explosives. He's going to get taken out.
Couple kills go down. Praise is the only one for Optic Gaming on this time, and the problem being that time is ticking. And Optic Gaming might not need the triple cap, but if they reach that 210 mark, it is all but over here. This is map number 3. If you just joined us, Optic Gaming leads 6-0. They have the hills, they have the kills, they have everything going for them right now. EU's finest, they need to muster up something special.
And they need to do it quick. Of course, the gondola is ringing now at this point.
Here we go.
The gong is dinging, and here comes the last 15 seconds of this match. Match point right now. Phelpsy grabs one, but Hydrone is pushing into so much pain from this Optic squad. 2 kills gonna be picked up here, and that's not gonna be enough. They're not gonna get in the hill, and just like that, Optic Gaming with a 7-0 sweep in game number 3 is gonna lock this up. What a performance from Optic, and what a way to respond to that adversity.
My goodness. You're being pushed map 1, you're being pushed map 2, but map 3, there is only one team on that main stage, and that is Optic Gaming.
And that's a team that's been together for 3 weeks.
3 weeks. I mean, their individual performance speaks for itself. Mental, at a point in time in the last round, had more kills than the entire EU's finest squad, as Momo was saying. So, EU's finest, they lost every round, and they were given the opportunity to put down anything they wanted. Boom shot, sniper. Did that help them?
Nothing helped. Nothing. Everything that we were talking about previously that EU's finest was doing well, it just kind of crumbled. You know, you just had a spearhead that is Optic Gaming just running through them, and there was absolutely nothing they could do.
Yeah, so moving along with Optic Gaming, what should we expect from them in the finals?
More of the same. More of the same.
I want to know who they're playing in the finals.
That's going to be interesting. So on the other end, EU's Finest, they're going to go into losers bracket right now on our Bravo station. Make sure you tune into that. We have Ghost Gaming down 2-3 against Echo Fox. I'm pretty sure they're going to play the winner of that.
Oh, wow. I love that action. It took behind me. 3-2 is the score right now. Echo Fox was down 2-0, won 3 straight. Man, that's a great one.
All right. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to send this up to Farouk on the main stage with Optic Gaming.
Down here, right now on the main stage with Mental. Probably the MVP there in that last map there. I mean, you at one point you had more kills than the entire EU's Finest team. Tell me what switch turned on for you in that last map.
Well, I was playing really well first map. Going to second map, Forge, I play more of the home hill side, and like I'm not really into the fight. So, but they put a boom down. It kind of caught us off a little bit, just because the marks of players like getting a lot of shots in, whatever, and it was just like overall like not a good map for us. So I was kind of a little angry going to the third map and just turned the switch.
And when you get angry, you get mental, huh?
Yeah, you get mental.
All right, now listen, you guys, like you say, you dropped your first map of the tournament, but listen, you guys always talk about your aggression and how you guys need to make sure you stay aggressive. Is it a matter of, if a team is trying to beat you, is it a matter of them matching your aggression, or do they need to surpass it, and how do you guys stay on top?
Well, usually when teams try to match our aggression, that's when we beat them like 7-0 like we just did. So, but yeah, putting marks down Forge and like the boom shot, that was like more of a passive aggressive, which we weren't like that great on that fight. But going to the third map, like you have to get aggressive on that map or claim. So that's where we're best at.
All right, you guys took out Echo Fox earlier. Echo Fox and Ghost Gaming, they locked up right now, 1 map each. Who do you want to see next here in the grand final?
I want to play Echo Fox again. I feel like they had a bad series against us, and you know, Icy and Kenny rivalry, Echo Fox rivalry, and I just want to play them.
All right, good luck. We're gonna send it back to you guys. Optic Gaming, they're moving on. Congratulations.
I like that.
I love that.
He's shooting right for his ex-teammates, right out the bat.
I love everything about that interview, from his dissection of the game, breaking down almost exactly what we saw happen. Angry Mental.
Mental gets mad.
Mental gets mad.
And that was a thing. He finally admits it for the first time. Mental bought himself. That was an awesome
He was
interview.
so calm about it too. He's just like, you know, I was angry, so I flipped the switch. Like, okay, it's that easy.
And I love the way he broke down the game too. He admits, and very humble in admitting, that second map is not a good fight for them. He didn't like the marks as being placed. They didn't like that boom shot fight. So it goes to show Optic does have some weaknesses. If you can find those weaknesses on certain maps and with certain weapon placements, perhaps you can change the meta in your favor.
And EU's Finals was unable to find that weakness there in the tiebreaker. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to send this off to another game that I've been watching basically this whole time. Ghost Gaming and Echo Fox on the tiebreaker map. 3-3.
Huge. And can we just talk about who we just saw already? Powers with 25 kills in 6 rounds. His first event, he's already performing. Oh, Kyle's gonna want that one back here. He's gonna come out on top in the fight regardless. What a performance here from M-Powers in his first tournament.
Couldn't be more impressed.
This is actually going to be a real test right here. Ghost Gaming and Echo Fox, they actually have a story rivalry as well. Heading back into Season 1, these teams have basically faced each other almost every event. And Ghost Gaming didn't get the best of Echo Fox in those series, but they can prove that right here that they're better.
I think as well with what Mental said on the main stage, you know, we've seen Echo Fox obviously go against Optic. We just saw EU Finest. You know, this is your top 4 right now. I almost want to see Ghost Gaming have a bite of the cherry, but honestly, Optic Gaming, they look so fierce right now. Powers, this kid, I'm a big fan. I was introduced to this guy on Friday, and you know, I was hearing a lot of rumors, and honestly, it's been a pleasure to watch this guy run around and absolute destruction within him, and so much confidence, so much flair. I love what I'm seeing from Powers.
Making a smart play right there as well. He recognizes, hey, this is round number 1 of the second half. A very intelligent play. We know he has a skill. He's showing the brains as well. Backs out of that fight, values his life, and says, hey, we have a 40-point lead right now. Let's take that to get the win. Of course, they're going to give Ghost Gaming some room right here and an ability to bounce back, as this E-Hill will be broken. D-Hill being knocked down, but a great round from Echo Fox. Textbook. And what less can you expect from Echo Fox in a textbook round?
Not much less. They played that really wisely. You don't need to push that fight in that situation back up. They have to push the hill. Use the support from your teammate. get the downs.
And I can feel the intensity. I felt it the entire Optic match as we have this massive crowd checking out this action over here right behind us. But for those of you guys that were watching the championship finals and didn't catch this action, it's been a grueling match. Map number 1 was 7-6 round for round. They went back and forth trading punches. Map number 2
came back.
Echo Fox came back. You're right. They were down here. And map number 2, Ghost Gaming really ran with it, dominated that map. I think 7-2, 7-3 or something along those lines. And then map number 3, Ghost Gaming went up 2-0. You thought they were going to keep rolling, and Echo Fox showing some tenacity. They win 3 straight rounds. Now we're tied, or sorry, we're at a 4-3 score in favor of Echo Fox.
All right, and here we go. Franchise, the leader of this team. I mean, we can't say enough about him. I would say probably a top 2 in-game leader in this game. Fallout, he's been playing as long as us. What does it mean for an OG veteran to be playing at such a high level to you in Gears 4?
Do you know how good it feels to be able to say
great.
one of us is still representing? Exactly. He's been competing since we competed back in Gears of War 1. He is the only player to go pro in every single Gears of War title. That's 5 Gears of War titles. He didn't stop playing even when the game didn't have MLG support and funding. He just is passionate about this game, and he even mentioned that the one time he did stop playing was the most boring moment in his life. It goes to show how passionate he is about this game. And he'd be playing if there was $5,000 prize pool or $200,000 prize pool. It doesn't make a difference to this guy.
This is going to be an interesting matchup because right here in control room, Speed and Rush, these 2 guys that go up there, like I said before, top 2 duo in the game, they dominate that area. So Echo Fox is going to have to try their damnedest to stop them up there, to stop them from overtaking the map.
You know, speaking of Echo Fox, on this map during this weekend for this event, they actually have a 33% win percentage on this map, total of 3 maps. So they've won 1 in 3. Now looking on the other side of the board, when we actually look at Ghost, they're up there with 67% wins with 3 maps. So they won 2 of the 3 maps. So Ghost, they're performing a little bit better. It's just going to be a matter of which team is going to be utilizing, just having that team fire.
Yeah, and look at the body language. We talk about it often. This Ghost Gaming squad so incredibly passionate. Speedy, I think one of the most misunderstood players in the game, but they win that round and still trying to iron some things out. 4-4, we're tied up, and there's gonna be a boom shot placement from Echo Fox, which I love that decision.
Going for the kill.
Exactly. Than anyone, Venom. Franchise loves to be the strategist, probably the best strategist in Gears esports right now. So by placing power weapons, it gives you the opportunity to outstrat the other team. You can come up with trick strats, you can come up with a variety of strategies and use that to your advantage. That is definitely a strength that Echo Fox has over Ghost Gaming, and they're trying to play into that strength. I like that call.
That's also a strength that Echo Fox plays against everybody else. I was talking to Rise on Thursday, and I was asking him about Echo Fox. One thing that they praise him for more than others is that Franchise's ability to take the fight away from a specific area and force it in the spot where Echo Fox dominates that.
Yeah, one of the best in the game at doing exactly that. He mentioned it in one of his interviews this weekend. There's quite a few strats that they have not shown. They've intentionally hidden them from some teams. Something tells me Ghost Gaming is one of those teams here, and they're going to be bringing the trick strats out of the bag here for this one.
You know what, and all these stats that we've been providing this weekend, courtesy of Prodigy, huge shout out to this man, a lot of work behind the scenes,
so
putting together all this data. It actually went over 2 million cells in the Google Sheets. Hit the limit. There's a limit, so there's a limit in Google Sheets.
He heard it out.
This is all manual entry, by the way. No APIs, nothing.
He's keying it himself. How much data you can actually input, and he hit the limit.
It's unbelievable.
My favorite Brazilian. Hands down.
He's my number 2. I got a good reason for that one.
Okay.
As I'm board of the Rushies right now. 15 kills to his name, sniper in his hands. And he's going to be backing out of this fight 1v1. Interesting round here. Boomshot will be respawning in the next 35, 45 seconds. I know, Cleaner, you got yourself a favorite Brazilian of your own, huh?
I do. Speak a little Portuguese.
Exactly, my man. Very cultured.
Can you cast Portuguese?
Can I cast in Portuguese? No. I
Not at that level yet.
No, see, I mean, I can understand, the general conversation. Ooh.
Yeah, a little bit of an overextension comes in there.
Something different. Nope.
From God Plays, maybe a slight miss, but maybe he knew something that we didn't, but he puts himself in a bad spot. He gets down. Here comes the Lancer, the team fire from Echo Fox. Franchise pushing now, and he needs to be careful because he puts himself in a pretty rough spot, but he has some cover to his name, and he knows that. Smart play by Echo Fox. They push up as a team. In case Franchise did go down, they would have had that revive, and they're going to down Speedy as well. This Echo Fox team fire is on point.
Patient and methodical.
Exactly, and we haven't watched the whole match, but I can just tell this is a completely different Echo Fox here on Championship Sunday. We knew they had the talent. Even Mental admitted that they had a bad series against them. I think we're going to see a different Echo Fox here in the rest of today.
Look at the pockets and just utilizing the team fire. And going to pull back. You're going to see everyone coming off spawn.
Kenny. 19 kills and 10 downs. Rushy's a little quieter map for him. 16 kills and 6 downs, which is still a lot, but for Rushy's, those are minuscule numbers for what you were used to seeing him throw up some monster numbers.
Cleaner, the winner of this game, they're going to be going against EU's Finest. Which team do you think will match up better?
I'm going with predictions. That was a nice shot.
It's a standstill headshot, Cleaner. You can hit that.
No. How many of those have we? Listen, it was critical because he's picking up boom shot.
Yeah, that was an important shot. I agree.
It was an important shot, and I'm happy that he took his time with it. It was a good shot because
nice
they worked.
patient shot.
Nice patient. There you go. Better adjectives.
Thank you.
We have each other's back here on the casting desk with the adjective
How many
vocabulary.
hamsters does it take to describe a shot?
Yeah. No, I'm done. I'm not making any further predictions. I'm just.
Oh, what a key button press by Franchise. He's actually going to turn and kill Speedy as well. By a millisecond, E-Hill was not capped, and that E-Hill not being capped might be the difference here, because if that E-Hill was capped, they would have spent another 3 to 5 seconds breaking that hill. Instead, Echo Fox is going to secure the double cap. Franchise, I cannot understate the importance of that button press from Franchise. Huge plays.
Look at Fran though, backing off. I like it. Securing the round.
That's something that we see from Franchise, right? Just the he's a tactician.
He's smart.
He is, but he waits until that exact moment. We saw EU's Finest a little bit of a hiccup with the button on their map where you guys actually called it out, pressed it a little bit prematurely, but you Fran just waiting for that right moment, and it got him the round.
Powers with 32 kills. Fallout, you've been around since day one, since before day one. Have you ever seen a player ever come into an event and dominate on this level? We've seen Atmo, we've seen Mintu, we've seen everybody, but Powers, what level is he on?
Man, when I was competing, Powers was 4 years old. That goes to say,
Don't
6
make me
years
feel
old.
like
6 years old. That says something right there, man. He is something. He has it. The it factor, the DNA of a champion in Gears Esports. This is just the beginning for this young man. His first event, and he has not had a bad map that I've seen yet, and at least the ones I've casted.
I haven't seen it either. He has so much confidence on that main stage. You'd think that he's been there all season.
Unbelievable player, and I can't wait to see him develop. Him and Pell, of course, as Icy gonna have his way in the 1v1 against Rushy. Rushy's, again, a little bit quieter of a map for him, but of course he is playing high side, so you're not in a position where you can get a ton of kills. You're in that 1v1 fight. Big difference there, similar to what Mental mentioned in that post-game interview. Boom shot in the hands of Echo Fox. You want to see them use that boom to secure this round here. It's round number 10, so that means 16-second respawn timers. That's pretty long. You could use that boom shot to get a 3 cap here.
I'm interested to see if Echo Fox actually, get another bite of the cherry, get another bite of Optic. Mental obviously kind of said they had a bad series. Echo Fox and obviously ex-teammates on there, like how do they react to these, change the map set? Oh, okay. All right, that's a nice shot, even though he stood still, crouched behind.
A nice shot.
Nice patient shot, I like it.
I thought we learned a lesson from that one, boys. Icy, in my opinion, was the best sniper in Gears of War 3. This Gears 4 sniper, very similar to the Gears 3 sniper, of course.
Yeah, you wouldn't push him in Gears 3.
Yeah, well,
Speaking of Icy in Gears 3, a lot of people don't know that on his way up to the top, he went to a Hypestation event, a LAN event, and he made a list of every team he wanted to beat in order to be #1. And he beat every single team on that list. That just shows the type of hunger that he has.
It really does. I remember playing against FYC, Red Icy, in Gears of War 2 on Jacinto in ranked and absolutely destroying him. But he has come such a far way since those days. What an amazing individual player. What a great man. His story, who he plays for, and what he plays for. Making plays left and right. That was a nice shot. There you go, Cleaner.
Third time looking.
There you go. Echo Fox is playing so incredibly well in this match. Kenny is getting out. You know when Kenny gets hyped, something's happening. He's flipping a switch as well. Red Icy with an amazing performance, and he's making sure they can hear it.
This could be where Echo Fox pulls away. As you saw earlier, the games were going back and forth. But Echo Fox, 1 round away. This can mean everything right here.
There you have it.
Loser goes home.
Yep. Will be nades placed over towards the incinerator, so you're going to expect a reward for your efforts if you win that 1 versus 1 fight. Of course, Identiv is one of the better 1v1 players as well. He grinds GBs, and so much respect for Identivs. Will be fighting that 1v1 fight, typically plays that spot. Meanwhile, boom shot fight is everything. It is match point right now for Echo Fox versus Ghost Gaming in this one.
I want to see Speedy's point of view because last time I checked, Speedy hasn't gotten the kill in about 2 rounds straight now.
Wow.
As one of their best players on that team.
Him and Rushy's both. I don't like the positioning as Adepto's going to cut through. They're actually not fighting the 1v1, but I don't like their positions and their spots on this map. You want to put Rushies in the play. You want to put Speedy in the play. Instead, all Echo Fox
This could be it.
all day here as Kenny's going to grab the boom shot. The crowd is reacting. Echo Fox is already standing up, and Echo Fox will advance to the losers bracket finals. M-Powers giving his coach Ryan a huge hug, and look at the celebration. This is a different Echo Fox team. Franchise, the most storied player in Gears Esports history, Icy with the American pajamas.
Goosebumps.
Wow.
I have goosebumps right now. That was absolutely remarkable. The fact that Echo Fox was able to beat Ghost Gaming and basically get their revenge for what Ghost Gaming has done to them for the past few events.
Yep. And not only that, but the amount of controversy that they had coming into this tournament.
Too much. A lot of people, they didn't think that Echo Fox was a top 4 team anymore once Solars and Praise left for Optic Gaming. But Echo Fox, they want that rematch.
They proved it. They have a fire lit under them. Echo Fox, phenomenal performance.
For me, I've still got that question. You know, we've got EU's Finest, we've got Echo Fox, now we've got Optic Gaming. Optic Gaming has had their way with both these teams now. We've seen 7-0 maps onto Echo Fox, we've seen 7-0 maps onto EU's Finest. Which team is going to push them? That is the team I want in the grand final. I want to see Optic Gaming pushed again. I do feel like Echo Fox will give them a better game this time around, for sure. But this EU's Finest versus Echo Fox matchup, I think we could have a map 3 under our belt as well with this one. The top 3 teams, though, is interesting to see.
I mean, I'm pretty much a fan of it. So we're going to be seeing Echo Fox and EU's Finest facing off in order to go against the Optic Gaming. Now, in regards to their playstyles, their specific playstyles, they play extremely different.
Yep.
Who do you think has a better hand at this?
You know, honestly, the way Echo Fox is playing right now, the way they've shown up on Championship Sunday, the way they responded to the adversity that they faced after getting destroyed by Optic Gaming yesterday is nothing short of impressive. I think Echo Fox has the upper hand just based on the momentum combined with their play style, a very methodical style of play, but they now have the slaying power that they need in Powers, in Icy, and some of these individual players. I'm excited to see what Echo Fox can do against EU's Finest.
Incredibly patient. That's one thing that I have to say about Echo Fox. Just perfectly put, methodical. They're taking their time. They're not rushing because there's no need to. You can set up, you can just make the call out, wait for your team to respond, and that's what essentially they were doing. They're forming a perimeter around Ghosts and just lancering them down and then not rushing in to get the kill. Okay, you can let them chain revive, that's fine, just keep firing. And that's something that we saw EU's Finest do a number of times. They'll get baited by Optic. Somebody goes down, they'll rush in to try to get the kill. Optic's there waiting, and they flip it on you just like that.
Well, heading into this event, everybody counted Echo Fox out because of their top 6 performance in Las Vegas. And then also when they had their change of rosters, they had God plays at first. And then, you know, they've gone through a little roster shuffle. Online, they weren't really a threat. Heading into this event, you know, they lost a few times in the beginning. And I feel like that built up personality, if you want to call it that, empowers Icy. They all believe what they can do. And that's really good for this new roster.
Yeah, completely agreed. And you know, on the flip side, this opens a question: what happens to Ghost Gaming? They go from 1st place to 4th place, a devastating drop for them and their standards, of course. A lot of controversy around that Ribs
Is there
replacement.
an elephant in the
I think his name is Jordan Ribs. And I think he's standing right behind.
It's going to be interesting. I feel like with all these roster changes happening and teams not really doing better, you're going to have to reconsider the roles on each team and what each individual player brings to that team. From their standpoint, Ribs and Godplays, they are different players. Both great in my opinion, but they're entirely different. In Ghost Gaming, they weren't the same.
I agree, and I think when you replace someone, obviously after such a success like Ribs, for example, yes, you're putting a superstar in that roster as well, but you can't think things are going to be the same.
Right.
You know, you're replacing one thing with another, things are going to change, and I think not necessarily it's down to the gun skill. It might be the mental attitude of this team. You know, what happens when they lose? You know, what type of player is Ribs when they lose compared to God plays when they lose? And I think you've got to kind of take this into consideration. I think no matter what, I want to see consistency through Ghost. I don't want to see another roster change, another roster change. You don't win. You don't beat a team like Optic by changing your roster every 5 minutes. You need to build up this chemistry. You need to work on this, and I just think from an experience side of things, that's what the likes of Ghost Gaming, Echo Fox, EU's Finest do. You know, they need to keep consistent, and whether they can be Optic is a tough question, of course, but I don't think by swapping the rosters around every 5 minutes it will help.
And one thing, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I have a question. So you're saying that Ghost Gaming shouldn't panic and make another team change? They just stick it out and work on it?
I think Ghost Gaming need to make their mind up very quickly.
Okay, I like that answer.
Do they stick with it, work through it, grind, if they know they've got the right 5 players, they do that.
Yeah.
If they look around and think we made a mistake, what happened, and maybe it's another player who's not on the team right now, they need to make that choice, and they need to stick to it and think of what happens in 6 months, what happens in 12 months, not what happens in 3 weeks and 6 weeks.
One thing that I do want to say about Echo Fox is that look at their new additions. It's not like they just plugged one person in and it's the same style. They legitimately they had to revise everything about this roster and everything about what they do. And you see people moving into different roles. You see Fran taking this front spawn sometimes. You've got 3 new additions to this roster. That's a big difference as opposed to just one person coming in. You kind of have a general layout, right? A kind of just a vibe and strategy going in. Everyone has their role, but they legitimately had to rebuild the team and restructure everything with this new roster. And they're coming out fighting and really performing well. Considering the short amount of time that they've had, absolutely incredible.
Agreed. And back on the Ghost Gaming conversation, listen, I feel bad for God Plays. I've been there. He is 100% the scapegoat of this roster. Everyone's going to point and say God Plays is the reason that they lost, and there's nothing he can do about it. I don't think it's his fault. I really don't. I don't think he responds negatively to losses. I think he's a great teammate and a great individual. I have nothing but respect for God Plays as a player, as a person, and it's a tough spot to be in. Trust me, I totally understand that feeling, but big decision for Ghost Gaming, that's for sure. I think I personally agree with Momo at least a little bit philosophically, but this Ghost Gaming roster needs a shake-up. They need a new identity, I feel like, and it's really a cultural thing for me.
Well,
a lot of upsets, a lot of shakeups in this event so far, and right now this next matchup, it's going to be one of the best so far.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I do have an interview, a very special interview on the floor with Jordan.
I'm joined now on the floor here with the Able Gamers charity with Greg and Craig. Now, can you explain to me more about your organization?
Yeah, so the Able Gamers charity is a charity organization that works in the video game industry to improve access for people with disabilities. You often find that in games that there are, a dearth of accessibility features available for players to be able to play. Also with peripherals, there's also not a lot of ways for people with physical disabilities especially to be able to play. So what the Able Gamers charity does is we work within the industry to improve awareness of people with disabilities, and we work with developers to see what we can do to fix that and to bridge that gap.
Wonderful. And you have a product here, your controller. Can you give us a little bit more explanation about how this works?
So this right here is the Xbox Adaptive Controller. We worked with Microsoft for 3 years to develop this. We actually had a prototype controller that we had created that had similar features, and Microsoft wanted to take a look at that controller and see if they can make something in-house that they can use with the Xbox family of consoles. So that was sort of the birth of the Xbox Adaptive Controller. The important thing about this, and a lot of people don't understand this, is that what that controller serves as is a hub for other peripherals and switches to be connected to. So it tells the Xbox that this is an Xbox controller, and whatever I plug into it will serve as buttons for an Xbox One controller.
And kind of talk about how he's using it right now.
So right now, Craig here, our awesome demonstrator, he's got a joystick, a nunchuck, let's call it, that Xbox is going to be releasing with the Xbox Adaptive Controller. So right now, he's sort of using the joystick to control movement. He's also got a couple of switches underneath his hand that he'll use to aim and shoot. And there's some buttons on the back of that joystick that he can aim and shoot with as well.
Well, Greg and Craig, thank you all so much. You can find more information about Able Gamers at their website, ablegamers.org. Back to you guys.
Thanks for the interview, Jordan. Able Gamers, I like what they're doing.
Absolutely incredible.
Amazing what they're doing. We've had the honor of partnering with Able Gamers. It's been a Microsoft Store and Able Gamers booth collaboration. I've had a chance to stop over there. A big shout out to everyone running that booth. But what they do as an organization is nothing short of amazing. They partner. They provide opportunities for gamers who are so passionate about playing, but maybe have an accessibility issue or an inability to play, and give them the opportunity to play the games that we all know and love. It's really an amazing thing that Able Gamers does, and a huge shout out to that organization for all that they do.
That's definitely a beautiful thing that's happening over there. And guys, coming up next, Champ Losers Finals, EU's Finest, and Echo Fox. Analyst, what's your prediction, Analyst?
Ooh, good try. I am really excited though with EU's Finest against Echo Fox. Echo Fox coming up so dominant, and I am really impressed. Just a short amount of time that we are seeing an entirely different Echo Fox, and Fable, or that X-Fable, I'm sorry, EU's Finest.
You're taking EU's Finest?
They're gonna have to be No. I'm taking.
I'll give you a prediction.
I'm just saying that they're going to have to,
I'll give you a prediction. I think with the momentum Echo Fox have got, with the loss that EU Finest have just gone under, I see it across the board on loser bracket finals time and time again. The team that's just had a really hard loss and the team that has just had a really strong win, it usually goes in the favor of that loser bracket run. Where's Echo Fox kind of gone from? I'm going Echo Fox. I'm going 2-0 for these guys. I'd love EU Finest to come back and win the whole tournament. Of course I would. I'm European. However, I think Echo Fox, I just think they're on a roll. Red Icy, man. This squad, the powers, it entertains me. And I also want to see Echo Fox have another go at Optic Gaming.
So momentum overall.
Momentum overall. And you know what? If they beat EU's Finest, who knows what happens in the grand final.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at our champ winners bracket so far. Fallout, what has been the shocker here?
Optic Gaming is in the championship finals. I can't, but no, I'm just kidding.
My God.
As expected. But really, to me, Rise is a key storyline. They had a great pool play. They beat EU's Finest, who's currently placed top 3 in this event, and they came out. They just fell flat in the championship bracket. Meanwhile, what a performance from Elevate! And we give a lot of love. We talk a lot about Optic, EU's Finest, Echo Fox United, but Elevate and Rise are 2 key storylines here. I got to give a huge shout out to Elevate placing top 6 at this event.
Yes, I would like to take this over to the championship loser bracket. What do we see here, Clinton?
Momentum, I see momentum, Belly. Momentum.
A lot of Echo Fox there.
Look at that.
I see a straight shot for Echo Fox right now. It's going to lead them up against EU's Finest. EU's Finest, listen, they're coming off a tough loss. Can they collect themselves and come back, or is Echo Fox's momentum and just energy going to keep it rolling?
And I got to say, again, we speak so much about these top teams, but I got to give a big shout to Nimbus Esports, a team of young guns, 16-year-olds for the most part, competing in their first event. They take Optic to 5 or 6 rounds.
Crazy.
They perform so well. They placed top 12 at their first event. Hat goes off to them. A lot of respect. They are the future of Gears of War. I'm excited to see what Tidy, what Demise and them can do for us in their continued career.
Yes, and I am so excited for the next matchup of the day. It will be Echo Fox and EU's Finest. The winner will go on to battle it out against Optic Gaming in the finals. So stay tuned. Make sure you stay here because 2 games under 1 roof. You do not want to miss this. More Gears of War action coming soon.
More is better. New titles monthly. $9.99 a month. What? Yeah, it's a new moisturizer. Do you like it?
A lot of people don't understand esports. They don't know what it is.
Everyone's on their feet. The crowd has erupted as Ghost Gaming advanced to a championship final for the very first time.
My brothers especially, they would be like, you need more balance, you know, not so much gaming. No, like, this is what I like to do. This is what I love to do. Esports is a thing.
The victor's decided by who's the best and who puts the most work in and who's the better player.
That's the ultimate goal for everyone. No one should be happy to get second place. No one should be happy to get top 8. It's first place or nothing.
We're losing because we're getting out-teamworked. Jeff had a crucial call-out where you remember you came off spot and you got flanked on the home? I heard you, but it was vaguely.
I'm feeling better after the win today, but it was still very, very sloppy. Our potential still hasn't even been hit. We've seen it maybe 2 or 3 times out of the 4 weeks we've been together.
I really love winning. I try to pump up my teammates. If we're down on points, I tell them it's not over, we're still going. You have a chance.
I would describe the Gears esports community as a passionate, loud group of people.
The more people you hear cheering for you and they're going wild, that just makes you want to keep doing it again and again and again.
it's amazing. It's unreal, you know, it's surreal. Like, they're walking up to me with my autograph. They want to know me, and like, you know, they're telling me things. I'm like, no, thank you. Like, thank you for your love. Like, you power me forward.
The advice that I would give parents who have children who are heavily into video games is support them. Coming from where we came from and to see the good kid that he is.
It brings tears to my eyes because I didn't ever think that a game would change our lives so much. And it has. It has.
You know, when we end after Championship Sunday, we're all in tears because we can't believe this is our job. This is what we get to do.
I just wish that we could show more of what esports was. They're not just gaming. They're doing more than just your average high school sport.
The future looks crazy. It looks like Gears is going to be around for a very long time, which I'm happy about because I've been playing since I was 11 years old. But I'm virtually been playing Gears for half of my life. The future is very, very bright if you're a Gears fan.